Hello and welcome to episode 98 of Two Man Game with Damon and Dom. I'm Damon, that's Dom, and you are the listener. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe on YouTube. If you're on Spotify, leave 5 stars, and on either platform, share, which apparently people have done a good job of doing as we receive 94% shares more than other shows in 2025, according to Spotify Wrapped. Also, in 2025, fans listen to us 80% longer than, I'm sorry, listen to us longer than 80% other shows. That could be because we make 5 hour episodes, so that could be part of the reason. And then the third one that I pulled from our data that I really enjoyed, um, our average rating 75% higher than other shows. So that's all very nice. And video wise, we were in the top 25% of videos on Spotify because we upload the videos there, whereas most pods just upload the audio. So, all very cool stuff that we saw on the Spotify Wrapped today. Thank you if you are one of those people. If you're just new here, don't worry. We'll talk about you next year. You'll have your time. But it's been almost 3 weeks. I think that's okay because our last episode was 5 hours long. It's basically three podcast worth of episodes, anyways. So, welcome back, Dom. Thanksgiving break just occurred. We were gonna do an in-person pod. We missed our chance as we were both a little like, I don't know, I don't feel great. You were here with your mom, and I was like, see your mom or whatever. And now here we are. How are you back in LA? Back last night in LA. Went to a concert. This crazy guy. Tell us everything.
I sure did. I'm going crazy. But first, I want to say thank you to everyone who listened this past year. It means a lot to us, and we're looking forward to doing even more 5 hour episodes in the future. Or maybe not as much, but yeah, we just really appreciate everyone who listens and shares and everything. I had a very good Thanksgiving break. I was home for about 9 days. I want to say 9 days, and I got to spend time with my mom. Got to spend time with my dad. Saw quite a few friends. You and I. When I first got to Austin, I was like, could not stop coughing. I coughed almost the entire time, so I was like, I didn't want to like.
I would have made for a bad episode, probably.
Yeah, that's I was on like this is not fun stuff. I was like working and I was on Zoom
Yeah.
meetings and I had to keep muting myself because I was coughing nonstop. So yeah, I'm like half NyQuil right now. I drank so much NyQuil in the last week. So if I'm a little loopy, I'm gonna blame that. Um, but I am also just really excited to talk about basketball because I was able to watch a little bit of basketball when I was back home. Went to a hockey game with my mom, like a G League hockey game. Um,
The
the,
Austin
the
Stars.
Austin Stars, and they lost 10-1,
Oh,
which is
jeez. That's a
crazy.
lot of goals in a hockey game.
It
10 is a
was
ton.
crazy. I was like, this is a record. This has got to be a record. But yeah, it was just a lot of fun and had a great time. I hadn't been home in like 6 months, so unfortunately didn't get to see my favorite co-host. So, but I will definitely see you for Christmas and whatnot. So, how was your Thanksgiving? How are you doing?
Thanksgiving was okay. I elected to not go home to Galveston. I stayed in this area, in the Austin area, as we will both be in Galveston not 3 weeks from now. So, might as well just. I don't need to go down there twice in such a short span. I hung out with a friend of mine, coworker of mine, Xavier. Shout out Xavier on Thanksgiving. They invited me over to their place. That was very cool. Aside from that, I did basically nothing the whole time, which was probably needed because that's the hard part of the school year is out of the way. And yeah, I watched some basketball, watched some football, did episode with Jared, all that. So here we are, and we were gonna do a thankful segment last time, but we didn't end up doing it because we didn't do the episode. So do you want to do some mini thanks
Yeah, I
before we
have.
kind of dive in today?
Oh yeah, I guess let's say I have three things I'm thankful for, and I'll go through them real quick.
Mm-hmm.
First and foremost, I'm most thankful for you, my basketball soulmate, favorite
Whatever,
co-host.
man.
So yeah, whatever, it's dumb. On to number two, I'm thankful for the backcourt of Luka Doncic and Austin Reeves. That was
Of
going to be
course.
my number one,
Yeah.
because they've been hooping lately. And then number three, I will say. I think I say it every year when we're talking about what we're thankful for in the NBA season. I'm thankful for parity. You never know who's gonna win any given night, and you never know who's gonna be the player that steps up. And there's been a lot of players stepping up for different teams, and I just love that about the game.
Yeah, no, that's good. Here, I'll try to counter. I didn't come prepared. I'm thankful for Dominicus for allowing me to have this platform and starting this journey with me over 2 years ago. And by the way, 2 episodes from 100.
I
So
know. I just
we're
noticed that. It's like, what, is
we're
that gonna be our?
inching close.
Yeah, it might be our live in person. Just knowing us, like that might be the one that we do in Christmas, even though it's like 3 weeks from now. But
It'll be
never
six
know.
hours long. Get ready, everybody.
Yeah, lock in.
We're gonna start here like doing the normal podcast, and then we're gonna go on the road. We're gonna like record on the phone. We're gonna walk around. We're gonna talk to you.
It's like a
We're gonna
vlog. I love that.
yeah.
It's actually kind of. We should. I one of these times, just to interject, we should go to like Sixth Street or something and just ask people NBA questions. Wouldn't that be
What
fun?
become one of those channels, the street interview of the drunk
Yeah.
people that are like clearly so drunk they have no idea what you're talking about.
No, yeah, I'm kidding.
Um,
Sorry, continue your thing. I apologize. Didn't
no,
mean
it's
to.
okay. I needed time to think about my thank. Um, I'm thankful for the Houston Rockets being a good team. We'll talk about that.
Three
Thank
seed.
goodness. It's been a while. Last year we were the 2 seed, but that was kind of a surprise. This year it's
Yeah.
like, yep, we're going to be here for a little bit. Because, I mean, the Rockets are not a team that's always been mediocre or anything, but we had like a 4 or 5 year rebuild stretch there after James Harden where we were playing some rough basketball. So now we're back and looking decent. And we'll talk about that. Let's see. If I had to pick a third thing,
You don't have to.
um,
You don't have to
no,
pick a third
I
thing.
should. I really should. Let's talk about I'll say the creativity in not the creativity, just the NBA like trying to do stuff. Like the All-Star game is broken. Let's
Mm.
try to fix it. Not always the
Innovation.
best solution. Yeah, innovation, that's a good word. The in-season tournament, I think, has been pretty successful since being introduced, and I was a little skeptical. But I feel like it has been, yes.
Also the play-in tournament.
I
Like
was gonna
that
say the
is,
plan
yeah.
before was awesome, yeah. Yeah, that was a home run for sure. Um, so I like that the NBA is not like, oh, no, we're gonna do it this way because that's how we always do it. They're open to change and feedback. So
Yeah. Yeah,
and they
those
got
are
the
I agree.
Larry OB coming back to the court for the finals.
Gotta love it. Gotta love
Let's
it. Those are
go.
all great reasons. Yeah, they've listened to the fans. Honestly, that is what the thing. They are an association that seems like they are trying to at least listen to what the fans are saying. So,
Right.
gotta respect that. Some leagues could care less. So,
Uh, that's the truth.
yeah, I want to. It's been 3 weeks. I want to dive into some news. We're gonna do some one like couple like broad things. Danilo Gallinari announced his retirement from basketball after 20 professional seasons, 16 of which were in the NBA. Thank you, Danilo.
Thank you. I'm thankful for Danilo Gallinari and his time in the league. No, this is you know, a good basketball player, fun player for a lot of our lifetime. Um, we never liked the Mohawk on the Hawks. That was never our deal. But he was like a 6'10 shooting power forward before 6'10 shooting power forwards were like a thing. So he was kind of one of those prototype players. Nuggets, Knicks, those teams growing up were fun when he was on them. Probably one of the best Italian players league has ever had, if I had to guess.
Yeah, he's definitely up there.
I can't even
Why am I
think of another
blanking on
Italian
it? I
player.
know, why am I blanking? Why am I blanking on Italian basketball players right now? This is not good.
Danilo Gallinari, the best Italian player to ever play in the NBA, confirmed.
Wait, this is an easy fix. This is an easy fix.
He's gonna use
Italian
Google
Italian NBA
Italian
basketball.
ball.
NBA basketball. Oh my God. Who's first? Danilo Gallinari. You know who's third, which is just wrong? Paolo Banchero. So what is this?
What? Yeah, that's not right.
Yeah, no. Yeah, no, actually, it says he's like, I think he was born in Italy. Oh, Simone Fontecchio? Come on.
Ah, Big Tech. I mean, that is a very Italian name. I guess I should have figured that he is
Yeah,
Italian.
I guess
Yeah, I'll
that's,
give Gallinari the edge there.
yeah, it's just naming, there was a Bellinelli. I don't know who
Oh, Marco
Bellinelli.
Bellinelli. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
There you
We
go.
talked about Marco Bellinelli. I got
Yeah,
that
we
too.
totally did. I know a lot about him, but I'm not gonna divulge that information right now.
He also retired not that long ago. Spurs shooting guard legend, and among other teams. Anyways,
Yeah.
great career, Danilo. Thanks for playing.
Thank you, Danilo. Name of the episode.
Anyways, let's talk about our teams. What have our teams been up to since the past couple of weeks? Rockets, we are currently sitting at 13 and 5. That is the number three seed in the West. As of today, right now, we are playing the Kings over on my other monitor. 1 minute left in the third quarter. We're up 10, so 14 and 5 is looking pretty likely unless the Kings think they're a good team all of a sudden, which I don't think they do because they're not. Um, and we'll talk about them later, I'm sure. Since our last pod, we've gone 6 and 2. During our last podcast, when we were doing the jersey rankings with Jared, we were playing the Blazers. We ended up totally demolishing them. A couple days after that, Kevin Durant and Alperen Şengün combined for 65 points to beat the Magic in an overtime game. It's a very close game, but they didn't have Paolo, so that is a little bit of a red flag to me. Going to overtime with a team that at the time was struggling, the Magic have bounced back in a big way now. But when we played this game, they were kind of in a slump to start the season. No Paolo. That feels like a game that you should win a little more decisively than overtime. We did stave off a comeback by the Cavs to barely beat them. We were kind of crushing them all game, and I turned the game off, and then it was one of those things where I look at the score on my phone, and I'm like, wait, what's happening? I got to turn it back on. And we were able to survive, so that was good. Um, we lost against the Nuggets in an NBA Cup game. They didn't have Christian Brown. He's been out for, or he was out for them. I think he's back now. Um, it was a close game. I think the Nuggets are a really good team. I think most people would tell you the Nuggets are a really good team. Losing to them by three is nothing big for me. We destroyed the Suns. That was fun. Reed Shepherd dropped 31 points to beat the Warriors in another NBA Cup game. That was a lot of fun. Um, and a big reason for that is the guard play on our team has been pretty lackluster. So Reed Shepherd's in a lot more run. And then recently we went 1-1 against the Jazz on back-to-back games, back-to-back nights, the 30th and the first here. Tough. You don't want to lose to the Jazz. The Jazz aren't good. But back-to-back days, coming into that second game is the one we lost. I could definitely see the team kind of being like, yeah, whatever, and not putting the full effort into it, which feels like what happened.
Hmm.
The biggest thing I've noticed, aside from those games that I just went over, Ime Udoka being really experimental with the lineup based on who we're playing. So, for example, when we played the Nuggets with Jokic, when we played the Cavs that have Evan Mobley, Jared Allen, excuse me, we started both Steven Adams and Şengün. But when we played the Warriors, for example, who are a pretty guard-heavy lineup, we started Reed Shepherd and Amin Thompson, and then we just had um, Jabari, Durant, Şengün as kind of the front court. So we're switching the lineup around based on kind of who we're playing, which makes a lot of sense. And you think it makes a lot of sense, but that doesn't happen a lot in the NBA, especially when you get to the postseason. Teams really kind of stick with their starting five unless something's not working. So I'm glad to see, this early in the season to kind of figure out what these looks are going to look like for us and figure out who's going to work, especially because some of the pieces are new, like Kevin Durant, obviously. We're trying to develop Reed Shepherd, but we also want to win games. And yeah, it's been nice to see. Even like, I think that Warriors game, Aaron Holiday played like 26 minutes, like randomly, and he barely plays, right? So like some games we need a little more guard depth, and some games, Steven Adams, Clint Capella, and Şengün all get a lot of run because we're playing a team on the larger side. So it really depends on kind of the matchup, who's healthy, who's available. Tari Eason's missed time here and there, which means Jeff Green and Jay Tate got some minutes randomly. Dusted them off, but it's been good. It's been nice to see. I'm glad that we are. I'm glad that we are being experimental in our lineups, figuring out what's going to work, and still winning at the same time.
That's what you wanted. You don't want to be experimenting and you're like losing. It's like you got to know when to stop that. So that's nice to see. I'm curious. I haven't really seen any Rockets. Has everyone been relatively healthy
Yeah, we've been, we have Fred out for the season,
besides
right?
Fred? Yeah, yeah.
But aside from that, yeah, everyone's pretty healthy. Like I said, Tari Eason and other guys have missed a game or two here and there,
Yeah.
but it feels mostly like a management thing, a rest thing, not like, oh, they suffered this kind of, bad injury that to actually be out for some time. And
Okay,
uh,
cool.
that has not happened yet this season. So
All right.
fingers crossed there.
That's
What about your Lakers? How are they doing?
Our Los Angeles Lakers are
Okay.
the yeah, okay, this guy. It's second seed in the West, 15-5. As of today, they're playing the Raptors tomorrow, which should be a fun one. We'll talk maybe a little bit about that later. Before I get into some kind of just news about the team, I'll just go over the schedule we kind of had. We recently just had a 7-game win streak snapped 2 nights ago by the
hmm
Suns. But let me explain why a little bit. So we beat the Pelicans, we beat the Bucks, like blew out the Bucks, which was crazy. We blew out the Jazz, and then we barely beat the Jazz. And there was a really bad like out of bound. There were some mistakes at the very end of the game that shouldn't have made it as close as it was, and almost cost us like overtime and possibly the game. But thankfully, we were able to win that game. We sloshed the Clippers. The first half was pretty competitive, and then the second half was just a different story. We just totally just scored. We are just able to play better than them. And then the Mavericks came to town. It was a pretty competitive game down the wire to the end, but then the Lakers pulled away, won by 10. Anthony Davis returned. I think he made like either 8 or 13 points. It was not very many points.
hmm
Um, because he was out for a bit. He came back against the Lakers. And then again, we played the Pelicans and we won that game. And then it was on a back-to-back. We played the Suns Monday night and we lost by 17. So I watched this whole game and basically, the first quarter up to the second quarter, like halfway through, is like relatively tied. Like Lakers had the lead, but then you could just really tell the fatigue set in from the day before. The Suns just got out in transition. Also, worth noting that Booker did go out in the first quarter, and we'll have an injury update on him in a little bit, but he didn't come back. So we got scorched by Colin Gillespie and Dylan Brooks. I
Dylan Brooks
love
was
seeing
scoring
that.
in bunches, man.
Dude,
It
it
was
was like he had
nice.
like 38 points and Gillespie was like 33 points. It was a lot. Gillespie had I think it was like 7 of 9 from three. It was tough. We just didn't not have an answer for them, and the Lakers were just trying, but they could not get a stop, and they could not really score down the stretch. And there were a couple times it felt like we were getting a little closer, but then the Suns just pulled away because of just fast breaks and whatnot. So that's a testament to the Suns playing even when their best player goes down. Lakers were tired, and you don't love to see a loss, but we won 7 straight games. We'll take a loss here. We'll play the Raptors tomorrow. Try to come back from that. We have two days of rest, so hopefully that helps. Throughout this whole time too, there's been a lot of talk. I mentioned it earlier about things I'm thankful for. A lot of talk about Luka Doncic and Austin Reeves as the uh like highest scoring back duo since Giannis and Dame like 2 years ago, I think.
hmm
So that's cool to see. Austin Reeves scored 10 points against the Suns, but besides that, still pretty cool. So happy to see that. And there's just a lot of stuff in the media them talking about how, weren't sure if this duo was going to work, but the Lakers are winning games. So if it's not broken, just let it keep going. So it looks like
Certainly a defensive question, mostly, I would imagine.
absolutely. And LeBron's been back, and I gotta say, does doesn't look as good as you would hope. I mean, he's able to make these impossible shots still, from three or his like parachute shot kind of turning around. Um, but he just looks like he's still like getting used to it. I don't know if I'm sure he's not in pain. I'm sure he wouldn't be playing if the sciatica was messing up, but just looks like not the same player right now. I'm sure it'll change because he's LeBron James, arguably the best player of all time, so I'm sure he will come into his own, but still just a little bit of I don't know, getting used to being on the court again. So makes sense. But in other news, sorry, I'm clearing my throat so much. The Lakers waived a center Christian Coloco to sign center Drew Timmy or Team. I don't know how
It's
to say his
Timmy.
name.
It's Timmy.
It's Timmy. From our G League roster. I don't really know why. I saw
He
you
was
put
awesome in
this.
summer league. Remember that? Remember how awesome he was for the Nets? He was
Oh,
good.
he's on the Nets. I was gonna say I don't remember that for the Lakers. Okay, maybe if I
We talked
saw
about
him,
that. I swear we did.
I believe it. I don't remember, but good for him. Come on up
We
to the
weren't
big
there in
leagues.
person, so we didn't lock it into the old brain.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And then this is the bigger news that came out maybe like a week or two ago, probably like 2 weeks ago. So Jeannie Buss fired minority owners Joey and Jesse Buss, their siblings, from their front office positions of alternative governor slash vice president of research and development and assistant general manager, respectively. And here is the statement, and I quote, "We are extremely honored to have been part of this organization for the last 20 years. Thank you to Laker Nation for embracing our family every step of the way. We wish things could be different with the way our time ended with the team. At times like this, we wish we could ask our dad what he would think about it all." So keep in mind that the same owners of the Dodgers are now bought the Lakers, so there's just a lot of things, kind of shakedowns happening around, and I can't say I was surprised to read this, um, because I knew they wanted to make changes, but it does seem a little in the middle of the season. It was just weird timing. I'll say that in the middle of the season, it could have done it before the season started, after the season. And Jeannie Buss has kind of been the face, I would say, of the Lakers like the last 2 decades, probably, and seeing
Front office
her
wise.
front office wise, yeah, of course, not player wise. Sorry, that wasn't clear. Front office wise, definitely, and yeah, it's an interesting predicament. Working with family is always going to be tough, and I wonder if they maybe weren't blindsided like they were told it was going to happen. I think it's always kind of strange when they bring up someone who passed away and ask what they would think. Like
Both
I
it's both parties' father, which is kind of
Yeah, but even
the
it's
interesting thing.
yeah, but also why I
What would Dad
personally
think
don't.
about you firing me, huh?
It's like what who would anyone
It's
think of
so weird.
anything? It's like yeah, exactly. It's like you didn't need to say that. Just tell me how you feel, not what you think your dad would feel like. You know what I mean? Like, but yeah, I mean, what did you think when you read this? I as a Lakers fan, I wasn't, I don't know too much front office management stuff. I care more about players. So like we have Luca, so I'm feeling pretty good, but I don't know, what from the outside, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, like you said, it's definitely weird timing. I believe Mark Walter is the name of the guy that bought the team, correct? Just looked it up. Who also owns the Dodgers, like you mentioned, obviously has a ton of money. And for the time being, Jeannie Buss is still kind of managing the team as the governor, basically making those organizational decisions from the owner perspective. So while Mark Walter, excuse me, has the kind of ownership, he's still kind of delegating that responsibility to her for now. And I don't know if this came from him, if it came from her. It'd be weird if it came from her to fire your brothers. A weird predicament to be in. I don't know how she feels about it. Who knows? Um, Here's what I'll say is the sub note I had on this point. These two guys are kind of known for being good player development people. So you mentioned that backcourt of Luca and Austin Reeves. Apparently, Austin Reeves is like one of the guys they kind of picked, right? Undrafted, signed to the Lakers after the draft. Kuzma is there as well. Um, Jordan Clarkson, Larry Nance Jr., Max Christie. Those are just some names that came up in the report. But the Lakers have had not like a Miami Heat level of this, but like finding, random players to kind of become impactful on their team. And obviously Austin Reeves is the latest example of that. So I wonder if that will continue in their absence, I guess. I'm sure it's not just them. Like they're not walking to, whatever college Austin Reeves went to, and watching him play, and they're like, yes, this guy must be on our team. And it's a team of people, but
Hmm.
they were kind of the heads of that. So we'll see how it kind of impacts them going forward. And that being said, it's not like every person the Lakers have drafted in their time in those roles has been a superstar hit. So um,
Yeah.
who knows?
Yeah, I was kind of thinking more recently. Like it hasn't been. It's been more misses than hits. I'd say that much. With Jalen Hood-Schifino things. That's like the
Right.
first thing I think of. Like Dalton Connect, maybe not shaping up exactly what you expected, but I've seen him do his run. Like he's he's a good NBA player. He's playing, so he'll still develop. But yeah, interesting timing. But best of luck to them. I actually have a funny. I don't know which brother it is, either Joey or Jesse, but he frequents the Pasadena Ice House, which is a comedy club in Pasadena here in California,
Hmm.
frequently. And a couple of years ago, my friend, she recently moved to Europe, so congrats to her. But she used to work there, and she would see him all the time and talk with him, and said he was nice and what you would expect of someone who was raised with money. I was like, okay, just like an older
Yeah,
dude who's just like, yeah.
that checks
Yeah.
out.
My dad was Dr. Buss, owns the Lakers. I work
Oh,
for the Lakers, so but said he was nice enough. So, you know, hope I'm not worried about them, I'll put it that way. They'll be fine.
they will be fine.
You,
I think they're leaving with millions of dollars in their pockets. So yeah, we'll be okay.
but you know who may not be fine as we look around the league to our next
It's
segment.
time to
It's
look
time.
around. A look around. Like when they do the intros and it's like echoey sounds on top of each other. That's what I'm trying to
Yes.
imitate. But I'm just one person. It's time to look around, look around, look around,
Look,
look
look,
around.
look around. And then
Yeah,
I help you with the echo. Then
there
I'm
you
your
go. There you
echo.
go.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, we're gonna look around the league. We're gonna talk about every team slightly. Now we're
Keep
not
your
gonna
eyes
talk
peeled. We
about
got lots of looking to do.
we got lots of looking to do. I don't know exactly. I don't know how did you want to start from the bottom up and just kind of
So how we
like
did this last time we did our look around the league, which we didn't do during the CJJ episode because we were like, it could be a little long. It was 5 hours. Um, is we each took a conference and kind of went 15 to 1. And I think we can do something similar, but we need to. I think because it has been 3 weeks and we didn't talk a ton about each team last time, it is worth talking about teams for a little bit
yeah.
um, at a time. So. Yeah, I don't know. Do you want to do a whole conference like here are the records, or do you just want to go team by team?
I think team by team. I think going conference by conference, it's more fun to bounce off each other and things like that, and just like taking the
Yeah,
whole conference. Yeah.
sure.
So
Which
with
conference do you want to start with?
let's do East because we did West last time, I'm pretty sure. So
Who knows?
yeah,
Uh,
so yeah, tell me about the East.
okay, I'll tell you about the East. Right now, all the way down at the 15th slot, surprisingly, is not the Brooklyn Nets. It is the Washington Wizards, a whopping 3-17. But don't you worry, they're 2-2 in their last 4 games, baby. They were 1-15, so it could be worse. And then they're coming up in the win percentage now. Um, God, what can I say about the Washington Wizards? I can tell you that their point differential is minus 14 and a half. So they get blown out most of the time. That is the worst in the league, by the way. I can tell you that they're not very good at most aspects of basketball right now. And I think that that's
Are you
kind
just
of,
bullying them?
I
It's
mean, they're
just
3 and 17.
it's just it's a funny way
What
like they don't know anything what they're doing right now, which
I actually think that like Alex Sarr has been fine. I think that Bub Carrington hasn't been nearly as impactful as maybe people thought he was going to be after his kind of rookie year is a little surprisingly good. Or I mean, it wasn't. He was a 14th pick, so it's not like oh my God, this guy's good. But he was like a little better than 14th round pick or 14th overall pick. And then it's not a slump, but he's not like taking the next step.
yeah.
And then it's like here's these random old guys that we throw out there like Chris Middleton. We love Chris Middleton, but just a random assortment of players, yes.
I will say CJ McCollum's in hooping. He got like
Not
a
hooping enough at 3 and
40
17.
he one of the wins, he got like 48 points. I think it was their second
Yeah.
win or something. Yeah, or the first win maybe even. But it was a ton of points and also the last game they won, he also was just hooping. So, I also want to shout out Keyshawn George. You
Keyshawn
know,
George,
he's
yeah, we talked about him last
doing
time.
all right.
He's been pretty good over there, but yeah, it's honestly it's tough. It feels like they still haven't really, figured out who are the true blue chip guys that they want to build around. Maybe it's Keyshawn George, probably Alex Sargon with the number two overall pick last year. But even a guy like Trey Johnson, UT, shout
I
out
know.
UT,
Yeah.
number six pick, hasn't had like this stellar rookie season or anything like that. So, um, it's just I think they're kind of in a stage of figuring it out, and they're just throwing stuff at the wall, and a lot of it isn't working. But it's kind of to be expected. I guess my hope is that the veteran play of CJ McCollum, Chris Middleton, these are guys we trust. These are valid NBA players. Yes, the franchise is losing very badly. I do hope they're at least instilling some positive habits in those young players. And at some point, either the trade deadline or maybe this offseason, they can kind of go find a destination to compete for the latter half of their career, and we can just truly hand the keys over to the young players because it's not like the veterans are providing you wins right now, anyways. Um,
Yeah, I
so
mean,
why not just throw all of the young out there?
yeah, I mean, if I throw something out, I think what would be kind of cool is like, not right now, but maybe a little, January comes around. Rockets call Wizards, say, hey, we'll give you a couple picks. CJ McCollum,
A
help
couple
you out with the
picks, a
playoffs.
couple second round picks, a couple. Uh,
But I know, but I'm just
depend-
saying, like, to kind of help with point guard play, like guy you can trust. Be kind of sick.
Sure. I would say he's a ball handler, but I don't know. He's not like a playmaker. I feel like we really need a playmaker. Um,
Okay,
but he can
you're right.
dribble, which half of our lineup can't do. So I
Yeah,
don't
yeah, but I'm saying if
know.
not the Rockets, someone. And I
Right.
think
I
that's
hear what you're
like
saying.
the Wizards definitely got to take those calls and probably do the trades just so they can try to get stockpile some picks and then just kind of work through the draft and then kind of rebuild that way. And yeah, 3-17 is not great, but you didn't expect to be fighting for the play-in or the playoffs or anything. So that's
What do
what
you think?
makes
I didn't mean to cut you off. That's
what
on me.
what'd you say?
I was just gonna say, what do you think the leading assist number is? Like who has assist per game the most on their team, and what is the number?
Okay, I'm gonna guess.
Really, the number is what matters. I don't think you'll get the person.
I'll like say Alex Sarr 2.5 assists.
Okay, it's not that low. That's criminally low.
Okay, I'll say what would make sense, like six.
It's 4.8, which is not great for your leading assist
Who is it?
player. It is a player you mentioned. It's Keyshawn George.
Oh, okay,
So,
okay.
um, yeah, that's so weird. That's very strange that he is. I'm looking at their team, man. Cam Whitmore. I want to see more out of him.
Is he not playing? Or is he
He
playing?
he's playing. He's played all of their games actually. He's come off the bench, 17 minutes a game, but that guy doesn't know how to pass. I think
Hmm.
he doesn't what's the analogy? He doesn't have the A button on his controller. He doesn't have
I've
that on.
never heard that, but that's funny.
You should.
Yeah, definitely expect more from Cam, but yeah, we'll see. I gotta say I've not watched the Wizards game yet this year. I kind of I
This is
do.
this is enough. This is enough Wizards talk, please.
Yeah. So
I
I
talked
was
too
gonna
long
seg
about them.
I was gonna segue. So like Wizards 3-17, you're not happy, but you kind of expect it. This next team, we got
Mm,
the Indiana Pacers 4-17, just
mm,
one game better over the Wizards. And I have watched a bit of Pacers in the beginning of the season and a little bit here and there. What I can
mm,
what I've ascertained is that there's a lot of very close games and they
mm.
just are not able to close out and the injuries is just stacked on top of them. I know TJ McConnell missed a lot of time. Obviously, Tyrese Halliburton is out all season, and I know like their center play is really lackluster. So you're not happy with where you are, especially just being in the finals last year. Pascal Siakam's doing what he can, but he's only one person. And really expected Andrew Nimhard to take a big jump. I think that was what a lot of people talked about.
Yeah.
And I I mean, looking at 4-17, guess he really hasn't taken that jump yet. And it's not all his fault. It's a team thing. It's you can't blame one player, but just seems like um I hate to say the season's already kind of like a wash Like
No,
just
it is. It's
yeah.
over.
And I don't like saying it, but it kind of is a wash. And like I don't even know if they have their own pick. Like, are they going to be able to like get a reward for like being really bad in the East? Are they going to be able to get a higher pick next year? I don't know. So I don't know if there's a bright side really, except that you will get Halliburton back, and you will be guaranteed better when he does come back.
For sure, yeah. I had it on the notes originally. I guess I didn't move it when I made this table here, but I know they also had Monte Morris to help with that guard play when TJ was out specifically. They waived him to sign Jeremiah Robinson Earl, who they had on a 10-day, and now they have him on a real contract. I think one of those hardship contracts because they have been incredibly injured. Let me get you some game stats here. So 4 and 17, that's 21 games for those that can't do the simple math at home. Um, Benedict Mathurin has played 10. Nemhard has played 13. Aaron Nesmith has played 11. Obi Toppin has played 3.
Wait,
Um,
whoa, that is actually I did not know that they were like not even playing these games.
yeah, TJ McConnell has played 11. So they are just incredibly injured with a lot of those core pieces from their finals run last year. And that mixed with the absence of your best player, your offensive engine, Tyrese Halliburton, obviously it leads a lot to be desired. And yeah, Pascal is doing his part. He is leading the team in points, rebounds, and steals. Rebounds 7.2. That's not a lot of rebounds for your leading rebounder. You mentioned the subpar center play. He kind of starts at small ball center sometimes, which is not great because he's like 6'8", 6'9". Jay Huff has started 5 games, but he plays every game. He's played every game for them this season. Shout out legend Jay Huff. Tony Bradley has played 19 games for them. James Wiseman has played a game for them. So it's not the greatest center rotation in the league right now. Jeremiah Robinson Earl is kind of a center, but he's a little undersized as well. So yeah, the bigs leave a lot to be desired. Rebounds lead to possessions. Possessions lead to points. Rebounding is crucial. People,
Yeah.
it's an underrated thing, you know. People don't get that like having the ball is really important, by the way. So it's been tough for them.
Yeah. We'll see. Yeah, obviously, like this season is what it is. You just want your guys to be healthy, play competitive basketball, and just look forward to next year.
Look forward to next year is right. Let's talk about a team that needs to look forward to 5 years from now. That's the Brooklyn Nets. Oh God, 4 and 16, the 13th seed in the East. It's pain, it's suffering. If you haven't watched the Nets game this season, don't because you're not gonna get a whole lot of good out of it. Uh, Coming piggybacking off the injury thing I just mentioned for them, Cam Thomas only played 8 games for them so far. He's been out for a while. We talked about that last time. So he still hasn't returned just yet, I believe. Um, who do you think their leading assist player is and how many assists they have?
I'm gonna say Dimon,
Remember, they
Ye
drafted
Jaeger
5 point
Dimon.
guards, basically.
Yeah,
Well, 5 players, 4 of which I think are guards.
yeah. So
Sorry,
yeah,
yeah,
I'll say yeah, Jaeger Dimon, and I'll say it's like 5.5.
it's a great guess. It's actually Nick Claxton with 4 assists. Their starting center with 4 assists is their leading assist.
Claxton. Oh my God.
Uh,
Okay.
So that tells you all you need to know about this team. Michael Porter Jr., 25 points a game. Remember that one executive was like he'll average the most in the league. He's not there, but
Yeah.
this is a little surprising. I didn't think that. I thought the game plan against this team is clearly like don't let that guy shoot because that's like really all they got, right?
Yeah.
But he's still doing it. So shout out to him. Shout out Noah Clowney. He's having a fine season for them. Um, Aside from that. Let's get to the next season where these guys develop and look like real basketball players, please, because they just keep playing a bunch of guys, and I'm like, who's that? Oh, okay, yeah, he's not very good. Not that they're like bad, but they're young and developing and don't know what they're doing yet.
Yeah, and that's what that's exactly what we kind of expected with this team. Michael Porter Jr., do you think he's gonna stay on the Nets this season? Do you think he'll be moved or next year?
I mean, they need somebody to score the ball.
Yeah.
I don't, I
Yeah.
don't, I don't know what they get from rerouting him. He is certainly, I think, playing his value up right now.
That's exactly what I was gonna say. Like that's the only thing I've heard about the Nets is that Michael Porter Jr. is hooping. So I'm like,
Yeah.
at least there's a positive light in that. So that's also good for him in his career as well. So we will see what happens there with the Nets. 12th. We got Charlotte Hornets.
Your Charlotte Hornets.
You're my Charlotte Hornets, and
And
they're
their
sitting
orange jerseys, Jesus Christ, they're worse on the court.
they're so bad on the
They're
court. They're the
they're way
worst
worse
thing
than I thought they were.
with the court too. Is just
Yeah,
like
they're horrible.
what is happening. It really is truly bad. I'm sure if we did the rankings again, there would be movement because some have
Yeah,
looked a lot worse
yeah,
than I expected, and some look better than
yeah.
I expected. But yeah, Hornets 6-15 right now. The only thing I've really noted is that Con Knipple is currently first in the Kia Rookie of the Year standings, and then
Yep.
it's Cooper Flag, and third is someone I don't remember. So. Uh,
Excellent.
yeah. So, but I thought that was very interesting. I know he had like a game tying shot to take the
He's hooping.
Hornets to overtime, and then they were able to win that game. So, congrats to him. I know. I forgot if we mentioned this last time, but basically, there's a report saying that like, the Hornets are open to like trade talks with LaMelo, and then LaMelo reacted, basically saying like, "Yeah, I'm open to
Yeah, yeah. LaMelo was like, "Yeah, please get me out of this place."
Yeah, and I don't know if we
Well,
really dived into that, but I personally don't see a I don't know, like that doesn't first of all doesn't reflect well on him because like if you want to be like this really great basketball player, you have to be able to like work with what you got, and if you're not playing
mhm.
games, like it's I kind of wish it a
He's already
bit of a
missed
better
seven. He's already missed 7 games this year.
yeah. It's like I kind of, not that this is a surprise, but I kind of wish he had just a better attitude about it,
Well,
you
yeah,
know.
that's the whole deal. That's the whole deal with LaMelo.
Yeah, so
Um,
and I don't know exactly what
Jeez.
the Hornets plan to do. But yeah, do you have I don't really know much more what's going on with the Hornets besides I watched a little bit,
Yeah, I'm,
but
I'm kind of just pulling up the stuff as we get through the teams here. But the thing about LaMelo that I'll touch on is
hmm
it doesn't make sense for me for the Hornets to trade him because I feel like his value, because of his attitude, is probably lower than you would think for a player of his skill level. So they
an
probably don't
injury,
get
yeah.
back what they want. The injuries play a part into it as well. I think, yeah, not pennies on the dollar, but I feel like it would definitely be a trade where I think as a Hornets fan, he'd probably be pretty underwhelmed with the return. Because with all the issues he has, and he does have issues, and we're not exactly a pro LaMelo pod, but he is clearly their best and most talented player when he's out there. So if they were to give him away for like random people, and I can't really see any team picking up the phone like I would love that player. That's who I want right now. He doesn't quite advertise himself as the franchise building block over here in Charlotte. So I feel like the offers would be subpar. What I'll mention for them though, we talked about Musa Diabate being kind of the impromptu starting center because they didn't really have one. How about Ryan Kalkbrenner, who they drafted in this past draft immediately starting has started 19 of their 21 games this season, and he is like a traditional center and he is playing relatively well, speaking for a Hornets center.
hmm
It's like you got Mason Plumlee or Cody Zeller right back out there. He's a little more defensive, which I appreciate. But yeah, he's been helping them. Not a great rebounder for his size. Musa Diabate still leads the team, 8 rebounds. Not a great number for your leading rebounder. Again, possessions are important for games, and there's a reason that these teams near the bottom don't have great rebound numbers. Sion James, I believe is how it's pronounced, also been pretty good for the Hornets as well. I've watched a lot of him. He's got some starting time with LaMelo being out. He's a guard. So I've
Nice.
appreciated his contribution so far. A player I had no idea existed basically before the season started. So I did want to bring him up and shout him out.
Yeah, and a player I forget he's on the Hornets is Colin Sexton. He's over
Yep.
there too.
Yeah, he started 2 games as well. How many games
Yeah.
has Brandon Miller played for this team, Dom?
I think it's 0, right?
6. He is back and
Okay.
barely
Okay.
playing. Barely.
Yeah, I know. I was gonna say like one of the I think more exciting players I was excited to see play was Brandon Miller because he had a really good kind of end to last season and everything.
Hmm.
Just being able to hoop when LaMelo was out, and yeah, I haven't heard his name at all, so I just assumed he wasn't playing at all yet. And I'm sure he's just getting his feet under him. And
Do you have
the
any idea
Hornets,
who Tijan Salon is?
yes, because I've just seen some Hornets stuff here and there,
Yeah,
and
they
I know.
drafted him last year with I think the sixth pick, maybe.
Yeah.
Not this draft that just happened, but the year before.
Yeah.
And as soon as it happened, I was like, "This is like a French prospect. I don't know anything about this guy. I don't. This pick didn't really make a lot of sense to me." Uh, and yeah, it hasn't made a lot of sense. Hopefully, he can do
Oh,
something eventually. They got a lot of bust over there in Charlotte. James Booknight, that guy got waived. Um,
yeah, yeah, that's crazy. I haven't heard that name in a while, but I thought it's because to me it's just he's been
he
there
was drafted like
forever.
4 years ago. He's already out of the
Yeah,
league, basically. So
it's crazy.
it's tough.
But
It
yeah,
didn't
that's
work
the
on that.
Hornets. But
That's the Hornets.
I want you to this next team's has got a lot of interesting stuff
We
going
yeah,
on
we
with
got
them
some
right now.
interesting teams now. Thank goodness. Oh, we're past those teams. Oh, thank God. Um, how about the Milwaukee Bucks sitting at the 11th spot, 9-13? Oh, how they have fallen from grace. Worth mentioning, Giannis missed 4 games with a left groin strain. That was the 76ers, Pistons, Trailblazers, Heat. So not exactly world beaters. The Pistons, we'll talk about them. They have been awesome, but the other three are fine teams. And they got basically crushed in all of those games without Giannis. Just not a prayer for them. And actually, glad we were reporting today because it came out today that he and his agents talked to the Bucks or had an open conversation about a potential trade again. This was kind of a thing over the summer a little bit. The Knicks were reported as really the only team that had significant interest, would kind of give them a package that they desire. So we're back to the Giannis trade talks. Will he get shipped out? Not being in the play-in right now, for Giannis is crazy. I know he missed 4 games, but I mean that's 9-9 when he's there. That's still not great. Especially in a weaker Eastern Conference, and we just talked about the horrendous teams below them. So when you're down here with these guys, it's tough. So I don't blame him necessarily. And actually, Dom, today, I was looking right before we started recording. He went down, no contact, and left the game with a calf strain. But I mean, it didn't look like anything. But I don't know. I hope it wasn't anything serious. Of course, we've seen plenty of non-contact Achilles injuries and things like
Yeah.
that. So I hope it's nothing like that. Obviously, we'll see. That literally just happened right before we hit the record button in the game they're playing right now.
Oh,
Uh,
okay.
so yeah, if we get more news, I'll check at some point and see if there's anything about that. But what do you think about this whole Giannis situation?
Yeah, I think on the pod we're a fan of players who are lifers on a team. And
Yep.
especially when it's their choice to stay there through winning, through losing, just being there because that's the team that drafted you, believed in you. And but I gotta say, in the situation like this, I understand how frustrating it can be because when you see the front office trying to do things like getting Damian Lillard, like obviously that was to try and uh show Giannis that they believe in him, they wanted to stick around, and that worked out. Then it didn't, and then they just kind of kept pivoting to things that weren't working. They got Kuzma instead of Middleton, who was there when they won the championship. Drew Holiday was traded, yeah, for Damian Lillard, like all this stuff. So I understand being open to a conversation about what can we do, what is the possible avenue, because the thing is, if I'm the Bucks, I'm going to try to convince him to stay because he's a top 3, top 5 player in the league, top 3. It's just, yeah.
Hmm.
So but how do I do that? I mean, do I say, oh, we'll draft someone next year, or we'll trade for people? Like we've done that, we've already done that, and nothing's really worked out. And can you imagine a player that has so much power that you're like, all right, fire your general manager, fire the coach, I feel like Giannis could be that, but I don't think you're gonna do that. You can't just kind of offload everybody
I mean,
as
they
it
have done
is.
that. Remember, they fired Adrian
Adrian
Griffin Jr.
Griffin,
halfway through their season, in which they were like a top 3 seed.
yeah, no,
So,
I remember that, but like they also didn't let go their general manager. Like I'm just saying, like
yeah.
you can't pinpoint one or the other. I mean, Doc Rivers is, I don't know why he's there as a coach, but regardless, I as Giannis,
We
what is
gotta go
convincing?
out there. We gotta
They
play
gotta
this
play.
game.
It's like, yeah, as Giannis, like what's convincing me? Doc Rivers out of breath trying to talk to me, like that's. I don't know. So I understand hearing offers and to see what works because you want it to be beneficial. Like you don't want to trade with the Knicks and all you get in return is like a role like some role players and like some picks. Like you would want to get like some star in back. And is that Carl Anthony Towns?
He's
I
a young
doubt.
blue chip prospect.
Yeah, it's like is it like I mean, who else on the Knicks could it be? Like you throw in Deuce McBride and like I mean, would they trade Mikal Bridges or like you know what I mean? Like something like that. Like that's not good enough. If you're a
No.
Bucks fan and in the Bucks like because then you are going to be even lower than you are now, which is almost hard to fathom. So,
Right.
um, definitely see what's out there, shop around, top three player. You can get a big package. The thing is, I don't know teams that can put together something as big for him. You know, especially I mean, post Rudy Gobert trade, which is one I still refer back to, and I'm like, oh my God, like 5 first round picks is crazy, and
Right.
just so much is like, what is a package for Giannis gonna look like? You know, so.
Insane.
But again, like I if he is traded, I will say I'm not surprised, and I know they tried literally everything they could.
Yeah.
So as far as a lifer goes, like I kind of see the did you say the writing on the wall? Is that an expression you said? I feel like
I
I
don't
heard
think I
that.
said that, but yeah, yeah, for sure. It's
Maybe
a.
I'm remembering something I
I'm watching.
recently heard.
I just pulled up. Rockets end up crushing the Kings. I just pulled up Bucks Pistons, which is that game I was referring to, in which
Hmm.
Giannis went out. Bucks are up by one with 1 minute and 20 seconds left. Jericho Sims with a career 15 high points. Shout out Jericho Sims.
Shout out
Uh,
Jericho, UT legend.
and Ryan Rollins, yes, Ryan Rollins has been very good so far
Yeah.
for this team this season. But yeah, they tried everything, and part of trying everything is getting rid of picks and assets to rebuild, and they don't really have anything left to give to get more things to help. So, uh, the way teams typically acclimate those things again, or accumulate rather, is the word I was looking for, is by trading a guy like Giannis to kind of get picks from other teams and stuff, to kind of start a new era. And it just may be time, for them. That being said, the Knicks, as their only suitable offer, the Knicks have several players that I think the Bucks could be interested in, some of which are young, some are kind of in their prime. And then the Knicks have a ton of picks in their on their roster right now. They did give up a bunch for Bridges and Cat. There's a couple picks there, but they still have a lot of resources left, so that could be an interesting deal.
Yeah. I think Nick seems likely, but you know, you got to hear the offers from everyone, and like it's mostly like when I think of like I think of the Jazz. Like Giannis does not want to go play for Utah, but I'm
No,
like,
oh, I was like, you want Giannis to Utah? What the heck?
no, 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 no.
You're
But I'm
saying for
like, they
not
have
right.
they have so
They
many
can't
picks.
they can't just be like, you're a net now, Giannis.
Yeah, you
Congratulations.
know,
Like,
you can't. Yeah, you can't do that.
yes,
But when you think of the teams that can have
that
assets
have
that are like like the
yeah, for
but like you
sure.
know, it's like yeah, you can't do that to Giannis. You can't
You
sit
know
him
who
in
you know who absolutely has the assets to trade for Giannis but won't?
who?
The Thunder.
Oh my God. I would hate that
They have
so
so many picks
much.
and so many players.
And see, if it's a move like that, that almost seems like you're just like ring chasing. Like, I don't think this is ring chasing necessarily. This is wanting to be competitive. Like the
Yeah,
Thunder are already 21-1. Do they need a Giannis?
right.
Anyways, we talked a lot about the Bucks, but
Well, it's a big storyline for the
it is
East
a
for
bit
sure.
it is a big storyline. Let's talk about someone who's better than the Bucks right now.
Someone who's better than the Bucks. Someone when we last did this podcast was tied for the number one seed, and here they are down at 10. That's the
Yeah,
Chicago Bulls
Chicago
at
Bulls,
9 and
baby.
11. They remembered they were the Chicago Bulls, as predicted. Only like super newsworthy item I wanted to bring up real quick. Noe Singh undergoing season-ending shoulder surgery for them. Their rookie from this past draft, number 11 pick, if I'm not mistaken. He hasn't played a ton, but he is going to be out for the remainder of the season, which is unfortunate. Obviously, you want your guys to play that you just draft. You want to develop them. He's only showed up 2 games this season, for 3 minutes per game because Billy Donovan does not love playing young guys, especially if they are not quite that good yet, and I believe he was a relatively young player, kind of a project type player, so that makes sense why he hasn't played that much. Um, Kobe White has only played 5 games. He was injured for a while to start the season, so I thought his return would help, but it's not his fault, obviously. But so far, it hasn't been great. Trey Jones playing pretty well in his stead to kind of start the year before he was back. And yeah, Patrick Williams is still awful. That's unfortunate for the Bulls.
That
Matas is
contract,
looking
yeah.
fine. Josh Giddey is looking pretty good. And they were riding high to start the season, but like we kind of predicted, they are the mediocre Chicago Bulls, and they have kind of fallen back to that mediocrity.
Yeah, I gotta mention Nikola Vucevic, who's actually playing relatively
Yeah,
well. I was
trade him.
watching. Yeah, no, no. Before his stock plummets again, but don't trade him for like one player. Get some picks out of him, please. But I watched the Bulls play the Magic, and it was a very interesting game because the Bulls were in command of it most of the time. They actually ended up with like a 16-point lead, like sometime in the third quarter.
Hmm.
And then the Magic went on a 16-0 run to start the fourth that basically tied it. And then from then on, the Magic could just get defensive stops and rebounds and score. And the Bulls don't really have a defensive identity. That was the thing I really pulled away from it because the Bulls are young. They can get in transition and score buckets and stuff like that, but they can't get stops. That's their problem right now. And
Team with Josh Giddey and Nikola Vucevic can't get stops.
Like, what do you
What?
expect? Yeah. So also worth mentioning, Isaac Okoro was out. He was not playing. I think he's been out for a bit, and Kobe White also still out. So, um, yeah, it's like who is gonna win them basketball games? I really liked what I saw from Boozalis, although he made some just bad decisions. Like he made like one like transition dunk, and in like the next possession, he's like, "Oh, I gotta like do it all myself." So
Hmm.
he gets in mind that like you get hot and you want to just keep it going, but you gotta still play the game, pass it around, and he's still young, still developing, but definitely some bright spots. I mean, they did win some games here and there, and Josh Giddey does look really good. So yeah, I'm not expecting too much out of them, and they shouldn't try to be the first seed,
He's almost
basically.
averaging a triple double, which is kind of wild.
Yeah, I
21, 10, and 9.
that's good for him.
Josh
Yeah.
Giddey, yay.
This is for you.
How about the other team that was tied for the number one seed back when we did this many, many moons
Yeah.
ago?
Let's talk about it. The Philadelphia 76ers, currently now 11-9, so switched with the Bulls. And what to say about them? Well, they got fined recently. I forgot to add this. They did get fined because they said
Hmm.
Joel Embiid was out and then he played. So you'll get fined if you do that. Tyrese Maxey's hooping.
He is hooping.
And besides that, I don't really have too much more to say about them. I think VJ Edgecombe has not been able to play. I think he's been out for a bit because I haven't
He's
really
missed
heard. He's
a
like
total
hurt.
of 3 games. So,
Really? Maybe he missed the last 3 games or something.
yeah. Hooping is an understatement. Tyrese Maxey is a freak. He's averaging 33. I was looking at this weird stat of like leading scorer by game,
Hmm.
and it was like Tyrese Maxey 1,000 times. And then they had a game where Justin Edwards was their leading scorer, which was very strange. And then they had a game where Kelly Oubre was their leading scorer, and then the rest were Tyrese Maxey, which was
Yeah.
awesome. He's been great. Edgecombe has been pretty good for a rookie. Paul George, welcome back. He's playing his last 6 games, suiting up. That's great. Joel Embiid has played a total of 7 games and looks not amazing when he's out there, at least from my casual viewing eye.
Yeah.
Um, he just looks like he can't move that well. And, teams aren't even really, I think teams respect what Maxi has to offer more than Embiid at this point. Which again, I'll bring up you and praise you for calling that long ago, even before this season. You were talking about that. Jerry McCain also came back, so that's good too. So they got a lot of their guys back. Hopefully it stays that way. We want to see this team at full power, see what they're capable of. weirdly enough, they started off the season hot when they were still missing guys, but I don't think that means they're worse with those guys. That's just kind of how the NBA goes sometime.
Yeah,
I
I
thought
think
I
the
forgot
teams
to
that.
mention. Sorry,
Oh,
go ahead.
sorry. No, you keep going.
It's not about the team at all. So say what you were going to say.
Oh, I think the teams they were playing earlier too were still trying to figure things out, so they were able to capitalize on that, having someone as good as Maxi. Um,
Mm.
but now, this season's progressed. Everyone kind of knows what's going on, and I actually am pretty optimistic about the 76ers, mostly because the classic jerseys with the court look amazing. So I'm like, these guys got to go far. Like they look so
That's
good.
that's all you needed to do.
Yeah, no, but I trust these young guys, and like the more they hoop together, the more they're going to be able to play. And I'm sure I just kind of wish there was someone that you could trust more as a center instead of Embiid. If not Embiid, then it's Drummond, and it's like
A lot of Drummond.
a lot of Drummond. And I didn't love what I saw. He doesn't seem like he seemed like the odd one out when I was watching them play. So
I
it's
love
just
Andre Drummond.
yeah. I mean, I like him
Not for the
as
right reasons.
not on this fit, not on this
You're
team,
right.
not the best fit, but anywho.
What I forgot to mention that I have mentioned on the other show, I got a new light, and it's in a new place. And I don't know if you realize or remember that I didn't have one.
I know, but I was like the last couple of times it's been like yellowish green light, and like your light is like blue again. What does it say? It's like blurry.
It says on air, as the other
Okay.
one did. The only difference that you can't really tell, and I moved it all around. I was trying to find the lighting that looked the best, or if I could ever read it, and you can't really ever read it. Because this one actually has levels, and I dimmed it down to the or the lowest brightness, to try to help, but it didn't. But
Ah,
I look much better on camera, which is nice. But
looking good.
this one has a microphone in between the on and there, so it's a little different.
When you said a microphone, I thought
Like a real
there's a
microphone.
yeah, like a real microphone. I was like,
No.
use the one on the computer, please. Don't use the one.
Yeah, I'm talking over there.
Yeah, I'm like screaming. No, that's cool.
No, yeah, I forgot to mention that. I was going to mention that at the top. I'm trying a new setup, a new angle with the light over there instead of on the goal.
We'd love to see it. Looking good.
Thank you. You know who else is surprisingly looking good? The Boston Celtics. Let's talk about them. 12 and 9 right now. Jaylen Brown been on a tear all season, almost averaging 30 points a game. He's been the real bright spot for them. And I think I'm just kind of surprised that this team is above 500 with the people they have left. Like this is not the Celtics of old. This, no Tatum, of course, for the season. Lot of Peyton Pritchard, a lot of Peyton Pritchard starting and everything. Derek White, of course, Amos Queta, Anthony Simons. There's a lot of guys. So a lot of guys that I didn't think would be impactful that are impactful, which is surprising to me. And I don't know if that's a coaching thing or if that's these guys are a little more talented than I thought. Um, I feel like it's a combination of both. Like, why is Josh Minot playing 20 minutes a game and this team is winning? It's strange. Um, and I don't know how long that'll continue. I definitely still don't think this is a team. This is the eighth seed, by the way. I don't know if I said that. I don't think this is a team that's gonna make any noise come postseason or anything like that. But I thought they would fall below the play-in, and so far that hasn't been the case.
Yeah, they started off a little slow and they really picked it up. Jaylen Brown is really after he wiped his hairline off of people's jerseys. I don't know if you saw
Oh,
clips of that.
yes,
I mean,
yes. Thank you for bringing
after
that up. That's
all
awesome.
of after the cleanup, he's been doing a lot better now. And
The spray on airline is
dude,
crazy.
dude, it's okay. You cannot have hair. It's okay,
You got to
dude.
go with the Kevin Durant look.
Yeah, just super patchy. Yeah, I want to shout out a couple players. I know that you mentioned like I've watched a little bit of Celtics because they'll have it on like Peacock on NBC and Prime and things like that. And I wanted to say that in the beginning of the season, Peyton Pritchard was not playing that well. He was like
Hmm.
he was 0 for I don't want to just like 18. He was like 0 for a lot from three. He was like just not
Jeez.
making 3 pointers. It was bad. But he's picked it up. He's been doing a lot better recently. So you love to see that. And also Hugo Gonzalez is a player that
That's
never heard
true.
of. Never heard of.
He
And
was
he
the first
is,
round pick this year, I think, number
oh, it's a
28.
rookie. Yeah, I mean, he is
Yeah,
hustling. He's all over the place. So like
yeah,
shout out him. And also got Luca Garza. I mean, come on. He's getting,
yeah.
I don't
Summer
know
league legend, baby.
how many minutes per game is he getting? Do you have that or no? Because
I
I
do
feel
have
like
it.
it's way more than it should be, and he actually didn't look half bad. So,
Considering he literally never played on the Timberwolves, granted they had Cat and Randall and several
and
other
Gobert, yeah, it's
Nasri.
like, yeah,
Uh, I said Cat and Randall, literally two players that were never on that team.
yeah, you're good.
14 minutes a game for
Yeah,
Luka Garza.
way more than I expect. But when I see him on the court, he's doing pretty good. So,
How
yeah,
about also summer league legend Jordan Walsh? He's been out there as well.
dude, I know
That's scary, man.
it's so scary, dude. You mentioned Josh Minot when he can jump really high. That's what I would
Yeah.
notice when I was watching some of the games. I was like, that was really cool. The athleticism is really cool from him. But yeah, I agree. I think maybe they'll make a play in. They'll try to get in the playoffs, but I don't think they're really gonna like go too far. But Celtics are a team that always just kind of find a way, and there's a team we'll talk about a little bit later too, always kind of find a way to be competitive and whatnot. So, congrats to the Celtics for being the eighth seed. But there's a couple teams a little bit better, and right now the seventh seed we got the Atlanta Hawks, 13-9, and let me tell you, I'm glad they're doing better. Poof, because the beginning of the season looked bad. And I don't really know why, like Trey Young was still playing and everything. Everyone was kind of there. Jalen Johnson missed a little bit
They've
of
looked
time,
good without Trey Young.
but now they look
He
really
hasn't
good
been
without
there.
Trey. I know. No, no, now he's in the beginning. I'm saying the beginning of the season. And then
Yeah,
like
yeah,
he's gone and now they're like winning games
yeah.
again.
Yeah,
Nikhil Alexander Walker's looking really good. Jalen Johnson's looking really good.
he is.
Okongwu, they're saying like he wasn't like making the jump you kind of expected, but he's still
Hmm.
able to kind of hold it down, um, down low. And who else am I missing? I'm missing somebody. I mean, Luke Kennard's there. I haven't seen him play any minutes personally.
Zachary Sachet,
Oh yeah, is he
Dyson Daniels. Those
Dyson
guys
Daniels?
exist.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
they have looked better, shockingly, with Trey Young's absence. I think he went out and we were kind of like, oh man, they're already not doing well, and now their best player, their offensive machine goes out. What's going to happen? Guess what? They look really good on defense without Trey Young. Shocker. Not really, but
Yeah.
I think the worry is that the offense is going to be really bad, but the offense has been fine. How many points do you think Nikhil is averaging this season?
I would say he's averaging 18 points a game.
20. Yeah, that's a lot for
20. Well, yeah,
a player like that. So that's really cool to see that he's kind of given this large role for a new team and really taken the reins there, especially probably with Trey being out and him being somewhat of a playmaker. I'm sure plays a part into that as well.
yeah,
And yeah, Porzingis has missed some time.
yeah.
Well,
Well,
he's missed 10.
crazy. Is it another illness that no one knows what it is?
Right. So Kongo has gotten more opportunities since then because I think they don't typically start them together. And
Yeah,
Porzingis in the 12 games he's played has started all 12 of them. So they have been running a Kongo off the bench, and it's going to be hard for a guy to develop if he never gets a chance to be out on the court. But with Porzingis being out, he has been the starter there and has started shining a little bit as of late. So hopefully that defense keeps up and they can kind of still incorporate that into their identity upon Trey Young's return. Or do they make a trade? Um, I don't know.
some people call him Trade Young.
Trade Young, yeah, I've heard Trade Young. Yeah,
Sorry, I'm sorry about
Heard it
that. Sorry
on the
about
block.
that.
Which is another metaphor for trade. I didn't realize that when I said it,
Oh
but
yeah, on the block. Yeah, that's great.
yeah.
Good job. Hey, look at
Hey,
us.
hey, look at us. Yeah, seven seed is a little low, I think, for where people thought this team would be. Um, but it has looked better as of late, and I think, if I'm not mistaken, Trey Young has like 2 years on his contract, like this year and an option or something like that for next year. So theoretically, he could decline and be a free agent this offseason. I don't think he will, but if they want to, free up some salary via trade or figure out something else and build around Jalen Johnson, I think that's something that could be worth a look.
Yeah, I think it's totally valid because he's just been playing super well, and yeah, he's been playing really well offensively too. So that's one of those jumps, you expect to see, and thankfully, now that he's healthy, Jalen Johnson is thriving. So, tell me about a team that's not really thriving as
I'll
much
tell
as
you
you would
about
have
a team.
thought.
Yeah. So tied with the Hawks at 13-9, the 6 seed Cleveland Cavaliers. This going into the season, I think everyone pretty much said it's the Cavs or the Knicks coming out of the East. That those are the two top teams as they have been in recent years, with teams like the Bucks kind of falling off after Damian Lillard's exit, with the 76ers and all their health concerns, the Celtics with the Tatum injury, the Pacers with the Halliburton injury. It was Knicks, Cavs, Knicks, Cavs. Neither of them are at the top. Cavs down here at 6 seed. Donovan Mitchell is really good. And he always is. And like I still feel like he's underappreciated for how good he is, but he is really carrying this team through all of their games. Darius Garland has only played 7 games so far this season, so he's again dealing with injuries, which is unfortunate. Evan Mobley still not quite seeing that jump that everyone wants for him to be a top X player in the league, whatever number you want to put in there, 20, 10, something. People think that it's there, just haven't seen it yet. Hopefully, at some point, it comes around. I know Max Strus is still injured, so DeAndre Hunter has played at that three position for them all season so far. And yeah, they're getting contributions from random guys off the bench that haven't played a ton in the past. Guys like Lonzo Ball, remember he's on this team. Jalen Tyson, Craig Porter Jr., Tyrese Proctor, a lot of like random guys that have filled in those guard position spots with Garland being out and not a ton of depth behind them since Ty Jerome isn't on the team anymore either. So I think they're kind of in a stage of figuring it out, but it hasn't been that successful for them so far. It's pretty much Donovan Mitchell, please, and Evan Mobley and Jared Allen on the defensive end holding it down, but neither of them being able to contribute consistently on an offensive level, I think.
Yeah, that's it is disappointing, especially from that hot start last year. But it just goes to show, just because sometimes one season everything's going right, the next season doesn't mean everything's going to go right again. There is one team in the NBA, I think, who is disproven that. But besides that one team, everyone else is kind of, it fluctuates. And I think the Cavaliers are one of those teams that will bounce back, at the 6th seed. I anticipate they will go up a little bit more. Some teams will kind of fall back down to earth a little bit. We'll see how real some of these um, higher teams are. But I'm not, again, like I'm not too worried about the Cavaliers yet. I'm worried about them in the postseason. That's just every time they get there, and then they're just never able to capitalize on it.
Yep,
And that's my concern. So, if you stick around the top six, you make it to the playoffs, but you just play really well there, like, it's probably worth it. But you definitely need to kind of get that chemistry going and figure out who your guys are. So missing Darius Garland doesn't help, and hopefully he's back sooner than later. Let me tell you about another team.
for sure. Let's do it.
Number five, we got the Orlando Magic. I mentioned them a little bit earlier because I watched.
I have to cut you off. I
Okay.
have the last game of the evening open right now, which is Mavericks Heat. Mavs up 10 with a minute left, so it looks like they're going to come out with the win here. Anthony Davis just pump faked and then dumped off to Cooper Flag for like a layup. And Cooper Flag like flex on because he kind of got some contact on it. And Anthony Davis walks over the sideline doing the goggles.
Yeah, with the goggles.
With the goggles. So I knew
Dude.
you would like that, so I had to fill you in on that.
Yes, dude, love that. Love those moments.
But yes,
Um,
please,
sorry,
Orlando.
Orlando Magic. They are currently the 5th seed, which again is we expected them to be one of those teams, one of those higher seeded teams, and the start to the season was not good. I think
Yeah,
you're the one that mentioned it. Whenever you get to Orlando, you can't shoot anymore. Whatever
right.
happens to you, the weather, whatever happens, you're unable to shoot. So, um, it's nice to see that actually maybe just take some time to learn how to shoot again because Desmond Bain has been playing a lot better. In the game I watched, Jalen Suggs has maybe not been playing as well offensively as you would have want, but man, on defense, he is just never letting any possession go. and I love to see that. There is one player who is so Paolo Banchero was out. I don't know if he's been out for a couple games now.
I think he
Um,
came back recently,
okay, yeah, Monday
but
he
he
didn't.
has missed 10 of their games. Yeah.
Yeah, so he hasn't played as much as you would have wished, so maybe that contributes a little bit to this. Franz Wagner's been playing really well. There's one player in particular that the announcers are talking about, the team is talking about. It's Anthony Black. Anthony
Hmm.
Black has been playing really well off the bench for this team, and goes to show when you're down 16 points in a game and you come back and you come back at the lead and you hold the lead and you're able to just finish the game out. Like it really just shows this that they're really growing together as a team, not letting things get down. And I expect that they will just kind of keep getting better, especially when everyone is healthy once again. Wendell Carter hasn't looked as like great as I would have thought. Goga Batadze looks way better than I expect to see him on a team. And I haven't seen a lot of Jonathan Isaac on the court.
He's out there.
Um,
He just runs around. He doesn't really do a
yeah,
lot.
yeah, which is so interesting because I know he could really be like a really great defensive anchor. No, not an anchor, but just really good defensive player on this team. But again, like
That
this
guy's
team,
almost 30.
no, this is
Feels like I've
that's
been
blowing
waiting
my
for
I
10 forever, and I'm like, oh, I guess it has been a long time.
yeah. But yeah, I gotta say, I really enjoyed watching this team kind of lock in defensively. Like that's the one thing you don't really have to worry about with this team. um when they set their mind to it, which is because with the Bulls, like they were able to get ahead in transition, but once the Magic set their defense, like there's almost no way really through it. So that's I really love seeing really good defense and things of that nature. So um I think the Magic will just kind of keep getting a little bit better. Like I mentioned with the Cavaliers, some teams will kind of come down, fall down to earth. Magic will probably stick around the same. But what would you like to add about the Magic?
Yeah, they looked pretty not great to start the season. I'm glad to see that they have turned it around. Both Franz and Paulo playing pretty well in their respective time. Desmond Bain has started to remember how to shoot, like you mentioned, which is nice. Anthony Black has been a great uh, kind of floor general for them off the bench when Suggs is not on the court, which is good because I think part of the problem with their offense is that when their main guys didn't have the ball, they just didn't know what to do. And we kind of thought Tyus Jones was going to be that for them this year, but he hasn't really done a whole lot. So um, it's good that Anthony Black has developed into that player that I think they hope he would. Yeah, I'm excited to just kind of continue to see this team as the year goes on. This is a team right here that if the Bucks decide to blow it up, screams Miles Turner to me.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, defense and stretching the floor and shooting.
Yeah,
I would love that actually. Be great.
that really just feels like the only hole. And I like Wendell Carter, and I even like Goga Batadze. I just think that they don't really complement the core of their lineup.
Yeah. Especially yeah, now that it's become that kind of look, especially with Paolo and Franz. So like you really need someone you could trust to space the floor.
Yeah. Number four, the New York Knicks, 13-7. Uh-oh, the Knicks are injured, which has happened to them before. Currently, they are missing Landry Shamet. He's going to be out with a right shoulder sprain for. He's missed the last 6 games. He actually might have returned, or is going to return like relatively soon, but he has missed a while. Oh nope, he sure is still out and will be out for more weeks. I just looked at an update. But yeah, he's missed the last 6 of their games. Not a huge player for them, obviously, just a bench guy. But OG Anunoby has been out with the hamstring strain. He's missed the last 9 games. That is a huge blow to their team. Someone that even in this last playoffs was like, oh my God, OG Anunoby can be that good. When Brunson or Tad or whomever is struggling or not on the floor, and they don't have that aspect right now. 13-7 is a little under where I thought the Knicks would be. Of course, new coach Mike Brown, new system they're kind of running over there. It makes sense to kind of have some early season woes, kind of adjusting the things. Aside from the injuries I just mentioned, they've been relatively healthy. I do worry, of course, because one of the things we talked about with this team is depth and lack thereof. They did get guys like Jordan Clarkson, who's played a lot. Gershon Yabusele hasn't looked as good as he did last year at the Sixers. Um, But then you start really getting into the weeds with some of those names further down the bench. So if guys continue to miss times, it's going to be tough for them to win games because I don't think they have a deep enough team to really rely on guide 9, 10, 11 to kind of, carry some of those bench minutes for them. But, Brunson, Cat, McHale, Josh Hart, these guys have all looked solid. And assuming OG comes back in a relatively short amount of time, I don't see why this team can't enter the Eastern Conference playoffs as a favorite to go all the way.
Yeah, well, one of the things I noticed when watching the Knicks, I've seen a couple games here and there, it just seemed like they were losing winnable games. And
Hmm.
I wonder if it is that depth or, I don't want to say fatigue, but this is a very different system than they have at Thibodeau. So maybe the Mike Brown, is running the court, a lot of substitutions, it kind of throws off this chemistry that they kind of built over the last like 2 years. So that's my biggest question mark. But again, like the talent level is there, so I'm not worried. When I was seeing the Knicks losing, and I was like, the Knicks can lose a little bit because I trust Brunson and Cat a lot, and this kind of gives me question marks when I know it's all speculation, but like with the Giannis thing, it's like, how does that fix what is going on? Like goodbye depth, It's like
Hmm.
if that's what your issue now, imagine what's going to be like with that. So that's where my head is at. I like the team as is now, and I think they should ride with it. And I think that chemistry will come and with the coach and with the new coach, I think is I'm not too
Yeah,
worried.
it definitely feels like a team that is ready for the playoffs. Like they're kind of over the regular season already.
Exactly. Yeah, and these games that were winnable, like I wouldn't say I was watching them fight tooth and nail to win. Like they were obviously trying very hard, but I wasn't watching them dive on the ground like crazy or anything like that. So I think they know where their priorities lie, and they're the fourth seed, so they're fine. Like I'm
Yeah,
not
as
too
long
worried
as they
about.
kick around up there, I think even if they were to enter as a 3 or 4 seed, I think that second round matchup they'll probably be favored.
Yeah,
Um, so yeah, how about you tell us about the top let's get into the top three. It's a little surprising so far.
this top three is I knew it was going to be surprising, but I also didn't really realize that the Miami Heat are the three seed right now, 14-7. Did they end up winning that game that you were
Uh,
watched or
no, they did lose the Mavs, so now they're 14-8, I guess.
okay, 14-8. Yeah. So
We're
I
not
think
including today's slate on here.
yeah, but they're 14-7 right now, which is not where anyone thought they would be.
Yeah.
And I think there's a lot of reasons why, but I gotta shout out Norman Powell. My God, that guy can shoot. That guy can play basketball. And I'm almost as upset that he didn't get an All-Star nod last year, like Luka not getting MVP the year before. It's like it makes me that like just
Yeah.
because his name is not big doesn't mean he wasn't playing well. And like this year is like he's
You've
really
always been on the
lights out.
Norman Powell train. That's another
Never,
one of your guys.
yeah, never been a Clippers fan, but been Norman Powell fan, that's for sure.
Do
And
you know how many points he's averaging?
I want to say like 26.
25. Yeah, that's a lot. He's their
Nice.
leading scorer, and it's not close. Tyler Hero is averaging 24.8, but he's only played 4 games because he
I was
just
gonna,
came back.
yeah, I was gonna say I just saw him come back, and it's crazy because with the Heat, especially like in the news, and I see like clips and everything. I feel like I don't see Bam Adebayo, and he's like there. But the thing is, I see Fontecchio, I'm seeing Pell Larson, I'm seeing I think Nikola Jovic, but I think he's out now, right? Or is he's
He's played 16 games. He's not playing a ton though, only 19 minutes a game. Jaime Jaquez looking pretty
Jaime
good.
Jaquez,
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah, another just one of those teams where it could be anyone's night, which is crazy. Like, and it's there really is like obviously like the guys which they're like Tyler Hero, Bam Adebayo, and then you get Norman Powell. You expect him to be like coming off the bench shooting lights out, but not like this. You don't expect this. You don't expect three seed this.
He
And
started every game he's played.
oh, he has. Okay, cool. And I Miami, he always find a way. You always tell me that every year. I always put him a little bit low. And
I did too.
I know, yeah. And I gotta say, I mean, like, I love this for them. Like, what a way, like, especially with the way things ended, like last year, Jimmy Butler going out. Andrew Wiggins is also still on this team, and he's a very good basketball player. Is he? He's still playing good. Okay. I
Yeah,
was like,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
when I saw him, I was like, he seemed pretty good. And yeah, I don't think they'll sit a 3 seed, but they're definitely playing better than before. And I mean, Eric Spoelstra, Coach of the Year, be kind of wild if this is the year it happens, but it's just cool to see. It feels good when it's players and a team that you don't expect just kind of really playing really well, and it's going to get a little wilder after this. But I mean, this is
They have 5 players that have started 15 or more games this season. Davion Mitchell. Uh, we'll skip the other
I
guard
didn't even
position for
mention
now.
my guy, Davian. Oh my God.
Oh, I'm sorry. I won't skip the other guard position. Davion Mitchell, Norman Powell, and then front court we have Andrew Wiggins, Bam Adebayo. Do you know who the other player that started 15 games is?
Yeah, Pell Larson.
Pelle Larson. What the heck is wrong with this team, man?
That's,
How do
dude,
they do this?
that's what I would dude, that's what I'm saying. I texted you like I don't know who this guy I was watching like a couple weeks ago. I was like, who is this guy? I thought it was for a second I thought it was Jovic. I'm like, that's not Jovic.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, maybe it's Kasper Jakic.
Yeah,
I'm like,
he's
no, it's
played
not.
1 minute this season, by the way.
Yeah, I know. Of course, of course. And of course, there's some random guy named Pelle
Second
Larson.
round pick last year. Yeah.
Yeah, and now he's starting on the Miami, and that's things about the Heat like you love to see. So
Yeah,
crazy.
they are good at that. How about the number 2 seed though? How about this surprise, even more surprising, the Toronto Raptors, 15-7 right now. What? Another team that I believe we had it like the 11-10-ish range when we made our preseason predictions.
I had him a little bit higher, I think.
I think I had 11, you had 10. That's what I thought. Maybe you had 9. I definitely remember 11 from you, though. It
Okay.
doesn't really matter. But a low play-in team at best was, I think, the expectation going in. And the reason I had them that low is because I thought it didn't make sense with the players they have. But they've made it look like it makes sense so far this year. They have a lot going on. Very consistent team, which I do appreciate. Their projected starting lineup of Quickly, Barrett, Barnes, Ingram, Pirtle have all pretty much played most games this season. There's been a couple misses here and there, but they're looking consistent. They're looking like they gel. They don't exactly have again a ton of playmaking, which I think was a worry. Um, but they're each getting their shot. They're each getting their opportunity. They're playing really good defense. And Darko is doing a good coaching job over there. So I'm super surprised with what we've seen from this team so far. I hope that they can keep it up. Do I think they're going to finish the season as a number 2 seed? No, I think they will fall down to lower. But I think this could be one of those teams that even a lower seed is like, oh, you don't want to play them in the first round because they're going to beat you up a little bit. They're going to be hard to deal with. They're big and lanky, and they're going to wear you out before your second round matchup. So you hope you dodge them in the kind of seeding. That's what this feels like right now.
Yeah.
And shout out Brandon Ingram for playing every game this season, and that is something we haven't seen from him in a time leading them in scoring. And I was kind of out on Ingram as a player at this point, and he has proven me wrong so far this season.
Yeah, I mean, my favorite thing about the Toronto Raptors is a lot I like about the Toronto Raptors.
My
I think
favorite
if you
thing is a
listen,
lot.
uh, no, I think one of my, maybe I think one of my favorite things about the
Yeah, yeah,
Raptors, though I like a lot of things, is that you
yeah.
never know whose night it's going to be. That's one of
Hmm.
my favorite. It has been, you know what they're calling him in Toronto?
Mm-mm.
They're calling him the Notorious BI3.
I did know that. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
terrible.
I think it's funny. It's endearing. I mean, Biggie wasn't Canadian, but it's okay. So yeah, Brandon Ingram's hooping. He's playing so well, and like you love to see that because they really got him when his stock was on the lower side, like for Bruce Brown
Hmm.
and like Kelly Olynyk or whatever. And and then Scotty Barnes is also like still playing really well, And Emmanuel quickly is still getting his feet under him. I know he hasn't been playing like super great, hasn't been shooting the ball really that well, but he is just one of those guys. Like he has had a game or two where he's that guy on offense. He's able to like get pass the ball around, like get the plays moving and yeah, I just love like the heart this team plays with. And we haven't mentioned this guy yet, but I never really watched him play. I'm gonna say his name wrong.
Are you talking
Svi
about
Malu
Sandro? Oh no, you're talking about
Malu
Speed.
Sviv
Um,
Maluhalik or something.
oh no, you are talking about Sandro, aren't you?
Is that his name?
You're not talking about Zvi Mikhailuk. I don't
I
think he's
am. I
on.
am.
Is he on this team?
Oh yeah, he is. You bet he
I
is. Like number
I literally
54.
don't see his name when I'm looking right here.
I
Are you sure you're not
swear.
talking about Sandro Mamukelashvili?
No, I'm definitely
Um,
talking about Svi Maluhalik or whatever how you pronounce his name. He's like
Zvi
number 54.
Mikhailuk.
Yeah, on 1000.
No, you're talking about Sandro. Zvi's on the
No.
Jazz, so you're not talking about Zvi. Yeah, I was gonna mention Sandro Mamukelashvili. Yeah. Tell me about him. Tell me about
Well, whoever's on the Raptors, I've been watching him play, and he's what I've been
him.
loving
He
about.
is number 54, so this is who
Okay,
you're talking.
so I just okay names. Sorry.
Svi used to be on the Raptors, so I
What
understand
the? I got
the confusion.
as soon as we go to the next team, I'm looking what they look like up because I swear to God, but it's
They're both very white European players,
yeah. Hey,
as you
can
may
you blame me,
imagine by
guy?
their name.
Yeah, can you blame a guy? But what I really liked seeing from his minutes when he plays the five is like Pirtle doesn't really his engine isn't he doesn't run up and down the court as much in like transition, but Mamu, that's what they call him, right? For short,
Yeah,
yeah.
Mamu, yeah.
He is like running up and down with everyone else, and like that's how they get like points ahead in transition, and just um just shout out to him because I know he was on the Spurs and then he came over here and I was like, he's just gonna be a guy that rides the bench. So it's been kind of cool to see him get actual minutes. And yeah, I mean, I haven't mentioned Grady Dick, who's been playing really well off the bench for them. Also, like, I want to shout out Jamal Shed. When the minutes I was watching him play, it was like, and then like a ball handler off the bench was really just able to do things for them. So yeah, I don't know how they've also been the second seed, 15 and 7, but I love that they are just kind of playing their brand of basketball and just whoever they're winning by committee. And you gotta
Yeah.
say, as an opponent, that's terrifying because I'm like, who do I know?
Right. You can't
Who-
focus your efforts
Like,
on
yeah,
one guy
you play the Bucks, you're like, we're tripling Giannis, and
for
then we're gonna
sure.
win. So it's like, who am I gonna triple in the Raptors? Who am I gonna double in the Raptors? So love to see that for the Raptors. Um, I don't think anyone would have thought that the Detroit Pistons would be the first seed.
Yet they are the
Yet they
17 and
are.
4 Detroit Pistons. They are also 2 and 2 in their last four games. They were 15 and 2. Actually, they're technically 17 and 5 because they did end up losing that game to the Bucks,
Mm,
despite Giannis leaving. So a little slump, I suppose, based on the really hot start they had. Cade Cunningham has been awesome. He also re-signed with Nike on a 6-year deal. Next season, he'll have his own signature shoe. That's very cool to see. Looks like he's becoming one of those guys, one of the faces of the league. So that's awesome. Um, and yeah, I would say right now, considering this team is the number one seed, he's probably up there in the MVP conversation. He's probably not the guy because he's not having like crazy stats, but 28 points, 9 assists, 6.5 rebounds on a number one seed in the conference will get you in that conversation. Will get you a look. Shout out my goat, your goat, Jalen Duren. He's here, baby. We're happening. We talked about how he was kind of not that great these last couple seasons, and I kept saying, guys, he was drafted at 18 years old. He's still so young, and he still is like 21. Like he's still really young, but he has looked awesome. He's averaging 20 and 12. That is what we need to see from our starting center on this team, and the defense is coming along too. He's finally, kind of growing into his body a bit, being able to contest at the rim and such. Tobias Harris has missed like 10 games for this team. They're still doing fine. Duncan Robinson, he's there. He's playing basketball. He's making threes. That's great. Yay. Jaden Ivey has played 6 games. He barely exists when he does play. I hope he comes back and has more of an impact. Otherwise, his future is going to be a little bit of a question. And
mhm.
when Jared was here, he mentioned Denise Jenkins, kind of a fan favorite off the bench for them, and that has continued. Probably not to the extent of surprise at the beginning of the season, but still been a contributor over there. And you love to see that. They have a lot of surprises, I think, on their roster, helping them out when they did lose some people over the offseason, and people had questions coming in about their current roster, and those questions have been answered so far. And hopefully they can continue to be answered because they look like the real deal. Cade looks like the real deal. And Jared, friend of the pod, Pistons fan, we're happy for him. And we hope to see this continue.
Yeah, yeah, I really am one of those guys that did not think their off season was going to help them in the long run. I think to me this was almost like a another year you kind of make it to the playoffs, you're out the first round, second round, and then next year you really try to make better moves. Obviously a lot of things plagued this off season because of like the Malik Beasley gambling things. Tim Hardaway Jr. being signed away, and then you get Karis LeVert, Duncan Robinson, and I was like, oh, they're good players, but not really what I thought they needed that Cade needed to be surrounded by. And yeah, yeah, I mean they've been playing great, and also shout out Jermichael Green, right? It's Jermichael Green that's there,
I'm pretty
or
sure Jermichael Green is in
there's the other.
retirement.
It's the other Green.
Javante Green.
Javante again. No matter what I do, Javante Green has also been hooping pretty good for them. So that's just one of those guys I did not. I just can't. Javante, Jermichael, jeez.
Jeff, Jalen, a lot of J Greens
Yeah, so many greens.
rolling around in
Jay.
the league.
Yeah, but Javante Green's also been looking really good over there. I did not really expect him to again like get minutes. So it's just
Yeah.
cool to see one of those journeymen.
And that's the East.
And
That's the
that's the
East right now
East.
on
And
December
you
3rd.
and you know what I want to do now?
I'm gonna go to
Take
the
take a
West.
break. Nah, I'm kidding. We're going straight into the West. The wild, 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 wild
I
west.
feel like the
Wicked,
West
wicked,
has more
wild.
to talk about, yet I will try to make an effort to go through it faster. So,
Yeah, we'll stick with it, but I got it. So we're gonna talk about the Pelicans.
yeah, okay.
So Pelicans 3-19. All
Yeah.
right. So let's talk a
Oh
little.
man.
Let's I don't want to get too much into it, but
Uh,
it's worse
I
than
can talk too long about this too.
it's worse than I expected. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah.
Because but just to go over some news things, they fired head coach Willie Green after a 2-10 start to the season. It was
And they've been 1-9 since. Way to go. It's really worked out.
yes, but I also this is one of those head coach firings. I feel like a lot of the time we talk about it, and I'm like, I don't really understand why they did it. I get why he's been there a couple years, and they've always kind of underperformed. And I this one I was like I like Willie Green as a coach. I get it though. Maybe this just isn't the right fit for them. And I
What's the
believe
guy
is
supposed to coach with his players are never there?
no, I get it. But as a team, and they got to do something. And I'm pretty sure it's the guy who used to be the coach of the Hornets, Borrego, who's the
James
coach.
Borrego. Yeah.
Okay, cool. So I remember that much. And then also, hey, we're talking about guys who aren't there. How about Zion Williamson? He came back November 19th after missing time with a hamstring injury. And he just got re-injured with an adductor strain, sidelining him for at least 3 weeks.
Yum yum.
Trade him. Trade him.
Played 10 games this season. He's about to, we're going to be at the 35 game mark, and he'll have played 10 games this season. So
I don't want the Pelicans to be bad. They don't deserve this anymore. They gotta
this is another cursed franchise, I think.
yeah, it really is just like not fair to them. Like they really have had like solid teams that never worked out. And this year, just like last year, like what is going on? Just
Shout out somebody I was very excited about coming into this season because this is the mold of a player that I have enjoyed through my basketball fandom, and that is rookie Jeremiah Fears. He has been awesome for them. Started 20 of their 22 games. He's played them all. So, and he's looked good. So I'm glad. Jordan Poole's also only played 7 games, by the way. And other guys that have missed time here and there. So yeah, I really like him. Derek Green has looked pretty good as well in the time he's gotten. I think people will still look at the fact that they're 3-19 and traded their unprotected first round pick to the Atlanta Hawks. So that's currently 30-19 is the worst record in the NBA. The number one, obviously, there's a lottery. It can fall all the way down to five. But right now, it is a guaranteed top five pick traded out the door for Derek Queen. So he will still, again, have to look very good going forward for that trade to be worth it. And yeah, when you fire your coach and you're the worst team in the NBA record wise, it's not a good look that you just traded your first round pick unprotected. Unprotected. Guys, people trade picks all the time. There's like always protections on them. There's always top five protection, top 10 protection, lottery protecting, something. Um,
This
and
guy's
then
getting passionate about
I'm
it.
getting, I'm, like, I understand that they wanted the player, but I think there was probably a better way to go about it. Remember that former Pistons legend, we just talked about the Pistons, Joe Dumars, is running the show over here. And so far, Joe Dumars, it's not looking too hot. So, um, hopefully they can turn it around. They still have pieces we like Trey Murphy and Herb Jones. I mentioned Fears. I mentioned Queen. Sadiq Bey has looked good after tearing his ACL. Finally playing NBA basketball again. It feels like he fell off the face of the earth for 2 years. So
You know
I'm,
who? Yeah, so that's definitely good to see. You'll love to see that for Sadiq Bey. You know who's
yeah.
also on that team? Oh, I don't think has
So
played yet. DeJounte Murray.
Dante Murray has been out all season. Whoa, shocker. So yeah,
Yeah, I'm
it's
like
tough.
they have players that like are good, but they're not playing. It's just like
Story of the Pelicans, Dom. It's the
every
story
year,
of the Pelicans, and
every
I hope
year.
they figure it out. Yeah, God, it's tough in New Orleans. Football wise, the Saints are like 2-10, so it's a tough time to
Nothing.
be a fan of New Orleans sports teams.
Yeah, just wait for Mardi Gras and just forget about everything until then. It's
Right?
just have a good time at the party. You know who's not having a good time? I want you
Who's
to
not
tell me.
having a good time? Uh,
My second least favorite franchise. Second least
okay.
favorite.
The franchise you have been to the most basketball games for, the Los
It's true.
Angeles
It's true.
Clippers. They're the 14th seed, 5-16. What's going on with the Clippers, guys? Well, Derek Jones Jr. sprained MCL. He's missed the last 9 games. He's expected to miss several weeks to come, so not going to see him anytime soon. They're also not going to see Chris Paul because they just sent him home. 21 games into the season, in which Chris Paul has only played in 16 of them. He didn't play a lot to start the season. They released him. They waived him. They said bye-bye. The reports came out today, actually. So I'm glad we're, again, recording today. Two big reports came out, the Giannis one and this one. Um, that there was a lot of clashes going on. Chris Paul, for a long, long time, has been known as this kind of vocal leader, this guy that's going to hold you accountable. He's going to do things the right way or what he thinks is the right way. Regardless of who you are, it does not matter if you are a rookie, if you are a 20-year veteran, if you are the head coach, Tyrod Lue, who he apparently has been clashing with, if you're Steve Ballmer, if you're whoever. He's going to tell you how he feels about it. And of course, this late in his career, he did announce it was going to be his last season at some point. So it kind of turned into a retirement tour, and then he got cut. Very sad, obviously, for a team that he has had probably the most success on in his career. You could argue his early days in on the Hornets, he was an MVP candidate for a time there in his younger years, but that was long ago. Um, Sad to see. Hopefully, I don't like. I don't want him to sign with a super random team, and then that's how he ends his career. I don't know. Maybe like the Rockets or the Hornets, like a team that he was on, I feel like is still better than like I'm gonna be on the Kings for the rest of the year. That would make me cry. So I hope that that's not what happens here. And I understand the clash in personality, but when it's a guy's last season and your team is 5-16, um, Ty Lue, very respectable coach. I think we both like Ty Lue a lot. Probably top five, top three coach in the NBA. Like he's really, really good at what he does. But clearly something's not working here, and he's probably making it known. And that doesn't necessarily mean he's right. He's does seem like kind of a stubborn mule in that way that he's gonna just say what he says, and that's his opinion. But I feel like it had to be something. Again, this came out today, so we don't know all the details. Something kind of wild for him to be waived as like a Clippers legend, right? Like he had to do some crazy thing or stints of crazy things, but I don't know, man.
Well,
What are your
some of the
thoughts before I continue on that? Yeah, what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, some of this other stuff I was reading about this was that it was obvious early on into the season or even maybe like training camp that like him and Ty Lue were not really the same wavelength about how to communicate with the coaches and the players. And Chris Paul tried to have like sit down meetings with them, and Ty Lue refused. So it's like they're both like they want to do things their own way, and then there are other reports that like the Clippers organization decided to go with the head coach and
Hmm.
obviously and stick with him, and decided, I guess, waiving Chris Paul was the best way to kind of just end things amicably without just like letting it kind of stain the rest of the season. But now doing that to someone who will probably, I mean, who's a Hall of Famer, is just bizarre. Someone sent it to me and I thought it was a joke thing because the Clippers aren't doing good. And it's not Chris Paul's fault. It's like you didn't sign Chris Paul to be the guy who's going to close out games and win games for you and everything. And the guys that you do have are just they're doing their best, but like everyone around him isn't. And you know, I don't think waiving him is like you're not waiving him to get someone. You're just waiving him because it's not working out. Like
Right.
I am not a fan of this. I also thought I had more time to see Chris Paul play as a Clipper in person, and I that my time was cut short in half,
You can see when he
basically.
returns to the Clippers on another team.
That
That'd
his
probably
revenge
pretty
game, Chris
interesting.
Paul revenge game, would be
Yeah.
kind of sick. But yeah, it was just weird to see and weird to read. Kind of out of the blue, if you ask me. Even though
Yeah.
I'm not
Yeah.
in
Yeah. For
Clipper
sure.
circles, just like out of the blue.
Yeah. Basically, the only thing going right for the Clippers is James Harden. He is scoring very efficiently, very well, playmaking as he does. Still looking like a very solid NBA player. He did sneak onto that All NBA third team last year, much to our chagrin. And he is looking like more of the same this year. Kawhi has missed 10 games. Yep, that's Kawhi. But Harden actually became the first player in NBA history to hold the franchise scoring record with two separate organizations. I was going to ask you which organizations, but I know that you know that. Um,
Rockets, right?
Rockets and
Yeah, okay,
Clippers.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay. But I
Uh,
was gonna say though, when I read this, he's only been on the Clippers like 3 years.
not like the total amount. It's like single game.
There we go. Okay, I
I should
literally
have typed
thought.
that better.
Sorry. I read that. I was like, oh my God, total? Like, oh my, like no one
Yeah.
could score on the Clippers ever. Okay,
Yeah,
that
like
makes more
in one
sense.
game he scored the most points on both of those teams.
Gotcha. That
Um,
makes a lot of sense. Yeah.
So yeah, he has that title. It was over 50 points. Now has 25 50-point games, which ties Kobe for third all time. Dom, do you know who the top two 50-point game scorers are? And perhaps how many 50-point games they had in their career?
Dude, this is when I see this, I'm like, oh God, casual. But like, I mean, like,
It's
okay, so like first I'll say like Wilt Chamberlain.
Wilt Chamberlain is number one.
Okay,
How
cool.
many 50-point games has Wilt Chamberlain scored in his career?
So Kobe and James Harden are both 25
Correct.
and they're third. So I would say
Correct.
I'll say like 40.
Okay, it's higher.
60?
It's higher.
100?
It's higher.
What? Oh my God, 150? I don't know.
118.
What
Um,
the
there was a season that Wilt Chamberlain averaged 50, I think. Um,
It should
yeah.
not even count. Like what
It's
is that?
like video game numbers, as they say.
Yeah.
Who do you think
Number
number two on the list is?
I mean, Michael Jordan.
It is Michael Jordan.
Oh,
Yes.
okay. Who's casual
Dang.
now? Take that. Take that. Oh God.
Um, yeah, how many 50-point games do you think Michael Jordan kicked around there? Somewhere in between 25 and 118.
I'll say like 38.
31. So
Okay.
not a terrible guess. So yeah, Harden has a chance. I mean, theoretically to catch that number. Um, he is pretty old now, but if he can do it right now, why can't he do it six more times this season?
I know, yeah, definitely 31 is an attainable number, I feel like, for a talented scorer like James Harden. So I gotta say I was also there for one of those 50-point games. So
Yeah.
as a Clipper,
I, I
so
I feel like I was there for one of the Rocket ones for sure.
yeah. So it's kind of cool to see that, even though, maybe not like my favorite player ever, but you gotta respect the game. So
Bradley Beal's played 6 games. Bogdan Bogdanovic has played 9 games. Um, They need people to show up and play. As much as I love our king, sorry, I gotta look at this closer. Yannick Niederhauser. Um,
Oh yeah, yeah, me too.
I don't know if he should have played 10 games already this season.
Yeah, I also agree that it definitely should have been as much. A player we have not mentioned yet, I will
Yeah,
say, John Collins.
John Collins, he's there. He's
He's
playing.
there. He's been playing.
Zubac is pretty good.
Yeah, pretty good. Brooke Lopez not as good as you would
He's
have
old.
expected.
He's
He's just
old.
old.
He's
Yeah, that's
an
what
old
I
man.
think one of the biggest issues for them, yeah, injuries, and then like it just seems like age and like fatigue for whatever reason, like they're
Yeah.
not able to like win games that way. So definitely not good to see. I wonder if they'll make any decisions about changing things. I mean, I know they just waived Chris Paul. That's not really like a game changer. It's not going to like now they're going to start winning games. But I'm very curious. When is a point? Because it's almost the season's not lost for sure. I mean, last year the Clippers were doing really bad, and then they turned it up toward the end of the season and ended up being like in the top six seed. So,
Mhm.
um, it's we got play when you got players like Kawhi and James Harden. You can turn the season around, but it's not looking good. I'll say that much. You know who also isn't looking that good?
Yeah, this team actually, based on tonight's games, has actually fallen to the 14th seed, but for our purposes, they were the 13th seed at the time of starting this recording. That's your king, the Kings.
The Sacramento Kings, exactly. Yeah, 5-16 now, 5-17.
Yeah.
Domantas Sabonis is out
That's
or
what I meant by
was.
your king. I should have.
Yeah, my king. Yes, no, I figured my Lithuanian king.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Sabonis is out with a partially torn meniscus and has missed the last 8 games. Partially torn meniscus sounds like it should be more than missing 8 games, personally.
He's still out. He still will miss time, but I think the initial evaluation was only like 3 to 4 weeks, which sounds insane. Because a
For
fully torn
a
meniscus is an entire season.
Yeah, I was gonna say partially torn. Like, oh, is that? It just seems like it should be longer to me. But the thing is, even when he's on the court, just because he's not going to be playing, they're not able to. Sabonis thrives when you're running an offense through him, but when you have people like DeRozan, Levine, they generate their own offense. What is Sabonis out there doing except maybe like getting a rebound or passing? It's like I mean, he's probably not even passing because he's not getting the ball. So the Kings am I surprised? No. Russell Westbrook has looked really good when he's playing, but you know,
Started 15 games, which
yeah,
is shocking.
yeah. But
And
when
I'm
you're
a Russell Westbrook fan.
yeah, but like, when you're losing like this, just just because you're like the best player on the 14th seed team is not that much of a consolation. So, what's wrong with them? I'll tell you what, the whole construction of the team, and we've talked about this in the off season and everything, and they have a lot of talented players, but the thing is, they 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 don't gel well together. And the thing is, again, like we saw this already, and they were like, let's do it again over here. So, um, things have got to change in Sacramento. I really don't know. It's not this season. The season's already
It's like what we
done.
thought the Raptors were to be, except they also don't play defense.
Exactly. So if you don't play defense, you don't get stops, you're not going to be able to win games. And also the thing about the Raptors too is that they're young. Like I feel like this
Mhm.
Kings team is like a little bit on the old, like not really old, but on the older side, and also just runs out of gas really easily. So and yeah, if your center behind Sabonis is Drew Eubanks, I'm like
They
five and
signed Precious
sixteen.
Achua.
Oh yeah, they did. But has he played minutes?
He's played 14 games already. He's out there.
Dude, I haven't watched a Kings game because I'm like, they're just gonna lose every time I see them. I'm
Uh,
like, ah,
I talked about you, or I talked to this guy about you before we started, but Maxime Reynard is out
oh yeah,
there at center for them as well. With Sabonis being out, he was leading the team in rebounds. He usually leads the league in rebounds.
yeah.
Who do you think their leading rebounder is?
Right now, I will say Russell Westbrook.
It is Russell Westbrook.
I was
A
like, I know
whopping.
there's a guy on there who rebounds a lot, or
He
like tries.
does. He
Yeah, yeah,
does. He got 7 of those rebounds a game,
yeah,
and 7 assists. Yeah, that's probably too much Russell Westbrook for a team in 2025. And I love Russell Westbrook, but yeah, it's just an amalgamation of old guys that kind of all need the ball and all score. None of them are super good defenders, and it's not working, and that's
yeah.
not surprising. Let's move on before I get any sadder to the number 12 seed, coming off a victory against the Heat that I just watched the end of, the Dallas Mavericks. Oh, brother. Last time we talked about how they fired Nico Harrison and admitted that the Luka Doncic trade was stupid, so that's hilarious. Uh, they have dealt with some injuries this year, which is a reason they haven't been so good. Dante Exum underwent knee surgery. He's going to be out for the season. I don't think he actually suited up for them yet. He was already inactive, and now he will be inactive all year, which is unfortunate. Anthony Davis just played his seventh game of the season. He was out for a while with injury as well. Cooper Flag has looked solid, not like world beating, oh my God, that kind of crazy insane rookie, but he's looked fine. I mean, he's looked good. And aside from that, it's been a lot of wishy-washy, in and out of the lineup kind of things. Dwight Powell's played 17 games. That's never a good sign when you have so many centers on the team. I will say the one positive note I've seen lately, Ryan Nimhard, the other Nimhard brother, has looked pretty good for them in kind of the spot minutes when they don't have D'Lo out there. They have kind of are going away from Jaden Hardy a little bit. And then the guard rotation after that is just a lot of question marks. Brandon Williams, Ryan Nimhard, I just mentioned getting some opportunity. So he's looked pretty good in the last couple of games specifically. I think 25 points, 10 assists recently. So that's nice to see, and maybe he can be something for that team. But yeah, there have been one, two, three, four players that have actually started a double-digit amount of games for this team. Who are they, Dom? Tell me who the four people are that have started double-digit amount of games.
Cooper Flag,
Correct.
PJ Washington,
Correct.
Najee Marshall.
Najee Marshall has started 3 games.
Oh, he's off the
He's
bench.
played 22,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
but
Okay,
he's
okay. I
only
was about to
started
say.
three.
Okay, so D'Angelo Russell.
Yeah, he started 3 games.
Who are they? Is it Ryan Nimhard?
No, he's started 3 games.
Okay, Gafford.
Gafford is
Okay,
there with Lively missing a lot of time this season.
yeah. And then fourth.
12 for Gafford, by the way.
Yeah, okay. And then fourth. Who else is on this team? It's not Jaden Hardy.
Not Jaden Hardy. It's not a player I've mentioned, but it is a player you know.
Oh, Klay Thompson. Klay
It's
Thompson.
not
Yeah.
Klay Thompson. He's
What? Oh my
he
God.
started 8.
Dude, what? Okay, I thought that was I was like a slam dunk. Oh my God. Um, who
He
else
is
is
a
on
guard.
this Dallas team? It's a guard. Um, nah, I'm lost. Who is it?
Perhaps formerly played for your favorite team.
Oh my God. Um, dude,
Per-
I'm totally blanking
Perhaps
right.
joined this team in the Anthony Davis trade last season.
Oh, Max Christie.
Max Christie. Yeah,
For I don't
19,
know why I
19
forgot.
games for Max Christie. That's a
So
lot of starting
he's
games for Max Christie.
a good NBA player, but yeah, I don't know why I was totally blanking on him, but
I mean, that wouldn't have been my first guess for who started a double-digit amount of games already for them this
yeah,
season.
absolutely. God, I thought Klay Thompson was a slam dunk. Anyways, yeah. What to say about the Mavericks that hasn't already been said? Um, I feel for the fans. Like I was talking to some friends back home, and some of them are Dallas fans. Some of them lived in Dallas. They were there during the whole Luka trade and everything, and they're just saying like the whole week, almost like a whole month, everyone was just you just feel a palpable just sadness in the air, and it's not all dark and gloom. People will return, and it'll get better for them, but. Can't really say I'm too surprised to see that they're 7-15 right now.
Yeah.
But
Um,
I want to add Anthony Davis in the goggles looks pretty cool. Unfortunate that he has to play with them. He has to, but looks pretty cool.
We are Goggles Pro podcast. I was actually thinking that if there's any goggles sponsors out there listening, and you want to provide us with sponsored goggles, we'll wear them every episode.
I wear contacts, so I can use some goggles. Say that
I
much.
if you got some prescription goggles, I would love to take them for a whirl. Um,
You know what team doesn't
anyways,
need prescription goggles? Well, I don't even know how to segue into that. But I'm gonna talk about the 11th seed. I'm gonna talk about the Utah Jazz. 7 and
why'd you say it
13.
so aggressively?
I don't know. I really don't know at this point, man. Maybe because like the Jazz are 7 and 13 and maybe didn't really expect them to be this good, but they were really being really competitive from what I've seen a lot of the games
Mhm.
that I have watched. A couple things of note. Keontae George, he's back.
Welcome back.
Welcome
Thank
back. I don't know
God.
where you went last year, but you're back. Larry Markkinen, you never left. Still there.
I want Larry Markkinen to be a Piston so
Oh,
badly.
it's just like already. It's just one of those trades. Like, just do it already. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So I wonder if they're just figuring out like
He's been
certain
awesome. They've both
specifics.
been awesome.
But yeah, they've been both really great. Funnily enough, like well, it's actually not funny. Isaiah Collier is also playing really, really well over there, and I'm blanking on this one guy. There's one European guy on there who is just like
Is it Svi
hooping,
Mikhailuk?
and maybe he is. It's like the is it guard like number 10 or something?
That is Svi
Oh
Mikhailuk.
my God. Okay. Well, when I'm watching the Jazz, like this guy does not quit on defense. And I love seeing that like that um just like that hustle play on defense. So
For sure.
but what was it with the Jazz? Like I don't know why they still have Kyle Anderson, Kevin Love, and Yusuf Nurkic, and they're also playing minutes.
Well,
It's so
Yusuf Nurkic is their starting center because Walker Kessler's out for the season.
yeah. And I don't love
They
it.
don't have anybody else. They don't have another center on the roster.
I
Lauri
just
Markkanen is 7 feet tall, but you probably don't want to run him at
I was
center.
gonna say, but yeah, I don't really I know what this team is. Like they have young guys who are just trying to get into play. Oh, Bryce Sensabaugh. That's what I was trying to think of.
Yep.
Bryce Sensabaugh is
Yep.
looking really good. So there's a lot of really like interesting young people, and they're winning more than I would have expected, and they're losing close games.
Hmm.
But I don't think they should be trying to like win as many. I know that was the mistake that they did last year. I mean, just winning way too much in the beginning, then they couldn't really get like a high lottery pick. But um, it's a respectable place for the Jazz to be at, and their city jerseys look even worse on the court. I will say that. I gotta throw that in there because it looked. I can't even watch this game. I don't know. This is
The gradient, that's what it was. I was trying
running.
to remember what
Yeah,
theirs
they're
was.
running paint
Yeah,
swatches. I'm like, I'm good. I don't want to watch
yeah.
this gray,
I already have
boring.
to put myself through watching the Jazz, and then you have to throw on these, and it's like their normal jerseys are also horrible. Perhaps the worst jersey core in the league.
It
Yeah,
sucks because they also they in the past have had probably top five like iconic jersey, and they were like, yeah, we have that, but let's try something totally boring. So,
dumb, dumb, stupid, dumb.
hmm
Um, Ace Bailey exists. That's
oh,
nice.
Ace Bailey's really good too. I forgot to say.
Kyle Filipowski, he plays. And that's what I can say about the Utah Jazz. Who do you think is leading this team? You can probably figure out points and assists. I'll give you one guess each.
Okay, I'm gonna say points. I'll probably go Larry Markkinen.
Yep, easy 28. That's a lot of points.
Oh my God. And then assists, I'll say Keontae George.
Easy 7. Who do you think is leading
Nice.
this team in steals?
Svi Mahaluk.
You wish it was Zavi Mikhailuk.
I'll say Ace
He
Bailey.
he does have a whopping half steal. Ace Bailey has a whopping .9 steals. This player has
Mm.
1.6 steals per game.
Sensabaugh. I'm just gonna name players at this point.
Yeah, it sure is Yusuf Nurkic leading.
Ah,
Steals.
jeez.
I wanted to torture
Ah,
you with a
it's
little more Yusuf Nurkic just naturally.
yeah,
So
of course, makes sense.
as to be expected. Anyways, moving on from one subpar team to another team that is fallen off and been surprisingly subpar after a pretty good start. The Portland Trailblazers at the 10 seed sitting at 8 and 13, although they won over the Cavs today, so really it's 9 and 13, but I digress. Um, What can I say about this team? I wish they'd played better lately. Drew Holiday has missed some games, only 12 games in the season. They looked really good when he was in the lineup, kind of leading the offense, which is not something I thought I was going to say coming into this season. Robert Williams plays basketball again. That's cool. I like that guy, and he just didn't play for so long. Jeremy Grant, Monty Kamara, Shaden Sharp, Denny Avdia, all of these guys have kind of had hit or miss games, except for Denny Avdia. How many points do you think Denny Avdia is averaging?
I'm gonna say 27 points a game.
26. Yeah, that's a lot. That's a lot of points for a player like Denny Avdia. That's awesome to see. He's having a great season. I hope that continues, of course. This defense has been pretty good. Obviously, worse without Drew Holiday in the lineup. But that's been their identity this season. Even guys like Robert Williams have contributed to that identity for them. Haven't played a ton of Young Hansen, who I think a lot of people were hype about. I think he spent a lot of the season in the G League. But yeah, this has been, an expected fallback for a team that started off way better than they're supposed to be. I hope when Drew is kind of back and fully in the lineup going forward, that they can continue to surprise people because that was nice to see. So hopefully he comes back soon and they can kind of continue being a good team.
Yeah, I agree. They definitely had a hot start to the season, and fallen off a little bit for reasons like you said. But it's also worth mentioning that they are the only team still to have beaten the Thunder. So that
Crazy.
accounts for something. That
Yeah.
accounts for something. Maybe not a lot, but it accounts for something. Yeah. Watching Deni Avdija plays, the more, and especially since he's been on the Trailblazers, has just been, I mean, a real treat. He's just really good at basketball and just like knows how to get to his spot and how to shoot and is just very smart about how he plays. So it's been really cool to see him kind of blossom into like one of the top players on that team. So love to see that. And a team I'm not super stoked to talk about because I really don't know what I'm supposed to say about these guys. Memphis Grizzlies, number 9. They're 9-13. John Morant is out with the right calf strain and has missed the last 8 games. Will he be traded? I feel like that's one of the biggest storylines I keep hearing about regarding the Grizzlies. And in addition, they
Did
signed Kobe.
we talked about the suspension thing last time? I think
Remind
we
me,
did.
what was this? Oh, for the
In the locker room, he was like
locker.
asked
Yeah,
the
we talked about
coaches
that. Yeah,
after
we talked.
after being like not playing. Okay, I was like that was insane. Sorry, I wanted to make sure we didn't miss that because I didn't see it here.
No, that was insane. But yeah, so a lot of attitude things, which John Morant has had in the past, and thought maybe we were getting past. So I use past for this different reason. Anyways, so it's been interesting to see that whatever is not working there might not be able to be fixed. So there's a lot of rumors around going. I don't know exactly what's going to happen. They did sign Kobe Buffkin via hardship exception, which is something a team can do if you are experiencing so many injuries that
Yeah,
you can sign someone that probably won't be there by the end of the year, but can play for you while your people are like, healing up and everything. So, Grizzlies will probably just keep losing, go a little bit lower. I don't know how they've won 9 games. I honestly thought it was going to be even worse, but
I was pretty low on this team. I think I had him at like the 13th seed coming into the season.
yeah.
So they're higher than I would have expected so far. But yeah, they just look not great. Who do you think their leading? Well, it doesn't matter who their leading scorer is. What do you think their leading scorer is scoring, averaging per game?
I'll say 18.
Correct. Wow.
What?
17.9
Dude,
is how
why do
much
I
John Morant
guess?
has,
Okay,
and then
anyways.
Jaren Jackson has 17.8. So either way, it was yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, your guesses are on par. Um,
I'll take it.
hard to win games when you don't have a lot of offense. It's not like it's like, oh, we have five guys that are averaging, close to that number. It's
Yeah.
falls off pretty dramatically after that. Zach Edey came back, has played relatively fine for them after missing a lot of the beginning of the season.
He
Yes.
did have one really good game. He scored like 31 points. It was like 80%. Like no one, no free throws. It was like over 80% from like the field, 31 points. It's like the first time since Shaq did that, basically.
Mm, yeah, that's
Yeah.
wild.
Because the
Um,
efficiency was so high and everything. And
right, right, right.
yeah, so
Just dunking the ball, just
yeah.
layups and dunks all the time. Makes sense. Olivier Maxence Prosper has played 12 games for this team after being waived by the Mavs, who are worse in the standings. So that's funny. And yeah, I mean, I like, we already talked about Jalen Wells, Cedric Coward, those guys before. They're having good seasons. We like those players. But the Ja thing is something that definitely has to be addressed. It seems like basically the way Tomas Isolo is running the team and the way John wants to run the team on the floor are two different visions. I think John wants it to be the Josh show. I think Isolo wants it to be more of a team game. And based on the results in the Ja era, I can't say he's wrong. Like, I think this is a team that for several years we were like, I'm excited about this team going into the playoffs. Like, they're going to be great. They've won one playoff series, I
I
think,
think one,
in this era.
if zero, maybe.
Yeah, like they often disappoint once we get to the postseason. I think they won a year. They beat the Timberwolves in the first round and then lost to the Warriors in the second round, if I remember correctly. So that was it. That was the one year. Other than that, they've been relatively lackluster, and I think it's okay to kind of look a different direction. Um, I know 2019 draft class, 2018 draft class, one of those years. Um, is 6 years ago, but it could be time to pivot because I don't see the ceiling on this team, and we'll see what that looks like when Ja comes back.
Yeah, totally agree. Now tell me about a team you love.
Okay.
I don't know where I was going with that.
The GSW Golden State Warriors here at the 8 seed 11 and 11. Um, They have fallen off after a pretty okay start to start the season, and now they're not looking so good. Steph also is out right now, missed the last two games with a quad contusion, and will miss at least a couple more games going forward. He's obviously their best player. In fact, there is a 9 point differential between him and their second highest scorer in terms of points per game. So definitely going to be searching for offense without him. Um, we will see what that looks like. This team, I'm over this team. I have been over this team for a long time. I'm over this era. I don't really have a ton to say about specific players. They got Seth Curry, they got the brother in there. That's cool. Draymond Green got fined for yelling at a fan because they were calling him Angel Reese because I guess Angel Reese has the reputation of like rebounding and not being able to shoot or something in the WNBA, and that's why they were calling him Angel Reese. And then he got into their face, and it was the whole thing. And that's Draymond Green, and that's why I'm over this team. And yeah, Jonathan Kuminga kind of starting to look bad again.
Yeah.
Moses Moody is fine. Pods is fine. Everything on this team is fine. I just don't. This is not a team I like. I don't enjoy this team. I don't want to watch this team, especially if Steph Curry's not there. I guess we should talk about Jimmy Butler. He's played, which is surprising. He doesn't play a lot of regular season
Yeah.
games. He's played almost every game. He's only missed one so far for them this season. So shout out to him for being present and alive on the roster. And yeah, I'm over it. I'm ready for this team to be something new and something that I'll enjoy. Because right now I don't enjoy it.
Yeah, when the season started, it was interesting how they were finding ways to win games. It was very obviously just find a way to get Steph open and he'll make the shots. But the thing is, what I've always never really loved about that is that eventually you start missing, and then if you're the player that you're depending on is just missing time, then how are you supposed to win games? So it's just one of those like teams I just never I can't trust this season, especially they're also like older. They're either like really
They're
young or older.
so old.
It's like I how much I don't trust this team. So I'm not really surprised that it kind of fell back down 11-11, and we'll kind of see where it ends up. What's more surprising, I think, is that the Suns are the seventh seed right now. They have a winning record right now. They are 13-9. So I mentioned the Suns earlier. They beat the Lakers on Monday night, and I gotta say I was really impressed by the way they were kind of running up and down the court in transition. There's a lot of Colin Gillespie. No Grayson Allen playing. I guess he's out. Devin Booker went out in the first quarter, and he will be out with. So he's out with a right groin strain, and will be reevaluated in 1 week. So they won't have him for about a week. We got some Nick Richards, Mark Williams playing against the Lakers. Always plays like he has something to prove, which is kind of fun to see. Ryan Dunn, wow, his defense, like the way he was playing was really like just not letting Luka breathe at all. So really respect that. Made some corner threes, which you wouldn't really expect from a guy like him. So the Suns have been stringing together wins, with Jalen Green still out, has he played one game, I think.
Two.
Dylan, he played 2 games. Dylan Brooks has developed into like a own like shot creator, and I will say it's ugly,
You
but
hate to see it.
you hate to see it, but it was working. So it's the Suns are one of those teams I think maybe not to this extent, but kind of like the Rockets last year, where everyone's like, "Oh, so Rockets, we could probably beat them," and then the Suns just kind of find a way to win. And
God, I hope you're wrong.
yeah, I think it's you don't have as many guys like there's no depth like besides the people I mentioned like there's Malawak there. I think he played a little bit. I don't really remember seeing him that much except maybe in like the garbage time minutes at the end. But
Yes, he's played 4 minutes a game in 10 games. So yeah, he's not playing a lot.
yeah. So, I don't expect this team to maybe sustain that, but it is surprising that they are in the win column right now and in the play-in.
Very surprising. So out on this team. I think I had him at like the 14 seed or something insane like that, because I just didn't see this team doing really anything. And so far they have proven me wrong, and I'm very sad about that. Um, Dylan Brooks, 22 points a game. Yuck. That's
What?
crazy.
That's crazy.
That's crazy, man. How about this? The Minnesota Timberwolves 13 and 8 at the number 6 seed. I kind of want to turn the floor over to you. I know it's supposed to be my turn, but this is kind of one of your pet teams, so one of your pet players, Anthony Edwards, is as he have the big news note about. I know he missed a little bit, but now he is back and they are rolling along. Before I turn the keys over, I will say the Jaden Daniels jump. It could be. It could be here.
Jaden
He's been,
McDaniels,
yeah, Jaden Daniels is a football player. That's
you're
my
good.
fault.
I've done that before too.
My fault. My fault. Yeah, Jaden McDaniels, sorry, has had a great season so far. I think for the last couple of years, this has kind of been what people wanted to see from him on the offensive end. And it's not consistent yet, but he has had multiple times this season where I'm like, that's the guy that I think this team really needs if they want that finals run they so desire. So that's all I'll say, but let me give you your time with your team and your guy.
Okay, I'll talk about the Timberwolves. I'm even consider. I gotta go to a game this year. It's been
Yeah.
the fact that I haven't seen Anthony Edwards play live yet is crazy. But pretty cool stat about Anthony Edwards. He became the Minnesota Timberwolves all-time leader in 30-point games after scoring 32 points against the Spurs on November 30th of this year. The 32-point performance marked his 102nd career game with 30 or more points, surpassing the former franchise leader, Karl Anthony Towns, the 101 games. So he hasn't been there that long. Drafted 2020, 5 years, franchise leader, 30-point games. You love to see it. You love to see what this team can do. They're winning games. They're almost to me feel a little bit like the Knicks of the West, where it's like they are really looking forward to the postseason. Like they're playing
Hmm.
games, they're winning. Anthony Edwards was out. They're still able to find ways to win. Julius Randle has been playing really well, and even though we were very concerned about that fit. It has looks like they are working out,
He's looked
which
good.
is good to see. Terrence Shannon Jr. playing, getting minutes has looked good. So um, just seems like one of those teams that like I don't expect them maybe to like go like really high up or have like a whole bunch of wins or anything, but they'll be like in the middle of the pack and then almost go to the finals again as all like the last 2 years. Almost feels like that. Just kind of waiting for the postseason. Oh.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, you know
Um,
you know who else is waiting for the postseason?
Waiting, waiting. Who's that? The
Denver
Denver Nuggets,
Nuggets,
perhaps?
14-6. Yep.
Yeah, Nuggets 14 and 6. What can I say about the old Nuggets? I already mentioned Christian Brown being out. He's only played 11 games this season. Talked about that earlier. With the Rockets, they're also going to be missing Aaron Gordon. They are missing Aaron Gordon. He's been out with the hamstring strain for the last 6 games. It's expected to be a pretty long one, like 4 or 5 week injury at the least. So he will definitely miss more games. They are sustaining though. 14 and 6 is nothing super bad to worry about. Only 6 and 4 in the last 10, so they are slipping a little bit with those injuries. Going to see a lot more Peyton Watson, a lot more Jalen Pickett, guys like that, I think, as the season progresses if we get these injuries, which was kind of the, I think, thing that people have worried about for the Nuggets during their time as a contender is that depth, right? They have a lot of Tim Hardaway Jr. right now, which we love Tim, but maybe not the guy you want on your championship contender playing 25 minutes a game like he is right now.
Hmm.
Um, Positives. Jamal Murray. He just had a 50-point game today against the
Did he
Pacers.
really? Wow. Oh, the
Yeah,
Pacers? Oh my God.
yeah. The third Nugget to have 50 this season. Jokic has done it, and Aaron Gordon has done it.
I remember that
So,
game. That was a
yeah.
crazy game. Oh my God.
So they are getting these big performances. Jokic, the guy's the best. I don't know what I can say. He's been the best player in the NBA for like 5 seasons. And he'll continue to be that. I was thinking about this, and we don't have time because we're already so long into this recording, like 2.5 hours almost. I'm so sorry. Um, how far away is he from the best hitter of all time? He can't be that far.
Yeah. No, no, no. I see arguments for it too. I think of best centers like Shaq and Olajuwon
Kareem.
and Kareem, and I mean like Will Chamberlain, things like that. But the one thing I think he does that none of them can do, he's the best passing center of all time. He's got to be
For sure.
for
Easily,
sure. There's
yeah.
no like none of those guys I can even like recollect. So um.
Averaging a
Yeah.
triple double, a little casual triple double at that.
Yeah, I'm pretty. Yeah, he's averaging a triple double right now. I'm pretty sure, or almost.
Yeah,
So
that's what I mean. Yeah.
that's yeah, yeah.
20,
So
29, 13, and 11. Yeah, I just love casual light triple double work.
yeah, so yeah, and I mean, yeah, Jokic. I'm not worried about the Nuggets really. And
No, they're awesome.
yeah, Jokic is gonna win them games and whatnot. So you love to see it. A confusing team, I think, for me is the San
I'm
Antonio
incredibly
Spurs
confused.
being the fourth seed right now. Especially because Victor Wembanyama is out with the left calf strain, has missed the last 9 games.
Yep.
And Stephon Castle's out with a left hip flexor strain, has missed the last 8 games. So and Dylan Harper's out. We already talked about that a while back. So they're
Hmm.
relying on like the likes of Keldon Johnson, Jeremy Sohan, Harrison Barnes had an incredible game either last night or the other night. Um,
Yes, sir.
and
Luke
I
Cornett,
Luke Cornett,
Julian Champagnie. They got some guys out there. This is the four seed. They're missing two of their best players.
Devin
Yeah.
Vassell. Devin Vassell also had an
Oh,
incredible
yeah, for
game
sure,
recently.
for
Yeah, yeah.
sure.
So it's just a team really out of the blue. This is like I think this is like the equivalent to like Raptors to me. Like, how is this
Ah,
working without? Oh, sorry, not. I just meant like higher than you think, not like the same because they have
yeah.
their people, whereas the
Definitely
Spurs are
with the
missing.
injuries, it's like how are you
That's
up here?
I did not expect them to be fourth seed right now because I know they started hot, and I'm like, okay, you're healthy, it makes sense. Dylan Harper went out, kind of slipped a little bit. Wimby's out. I'm like, they're gonna kind of fall back down, and they're still winning games. I don't know if it's the
Hmm.
easy schedule. I haven't looked at the games really the teams have been playing, but it's cool to see. And if they're able to stay afloat with Wimby out, Stephon Castle out, and they come back and they're able to keep that up, they could be you know, in the West, which is crazy, like playoffs. Maybe dipping into the play-in, but it's compared to everybody else, like it's
Let
looking
me give you the schedule over the time that Wimby and Castle have been out.
please.
Loss. Nope. I'm sorry. Win over the Magic today. Um, win over the Grizzlies. Loss to the Timberwolves. Win over the Nuggets in the NBA Cup. Win over the Blazers. Loss to the Suns. Win over the Hawks. Win over the Grizzlies. Win over the Kings. So. A couple teams, the Nuggets, right? That's a big win.
Yeah.
But a lot of teams that I think are around their competition or subpar that they have still beaten. Granted, without two of their best three players. Fox is back, carrying most of the
Oh
load
yeah, of course. Yeah, I
during
didn't
this
even mention
time.
him. Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I would say if you had to rank the players in this team, Wemby's number one, Fox is number two, Castle is like number three or four. So they're
Yeah.
missing two of their top guys, and still managing this crazy season. So I hope, I hope this team is good. It does sadden me a little bit because they've been so good my entire life and are also right down the road. But then I get to go watch them. But then it's more expensive because they're good.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, it's been a joy to see this team overperform so far.
Absolutely. And then we already talked about Rockets are the third seed right now, 13 and 5. Lakers are second seed, 15 and 5.
Correct,
Was
correct.
there anything you wanted to add about them?
No, we already
Yeah.
spent time on them.
Yeah. Tell me about the best team in the NBA.
Let me tell you about the team technically on pace to break the all-time regular season's win record. The 21 and 1 Oklahoma City Thunder coming off of their finals. I said they're going to be the 1 seed again. Dom was like, no, no, they couldn't. They'll be the 2 seed. Right now, it's not close. They are dominating. By the way, Jalen Williams just came back. He's played 3 games. He was all NBA last season. He's their second best player. He's played 3 games and they've won 21 games. Just doing it with other guys, doing it with Chet, doing it with AJ Mitchell, who we've shouted out before.
Yeah.
Aaron Wiggins, Isaiah Joe, Hardenstein, Cason Wallace. I mean, they have so many impactful players on this roster. I haven't even mentioned Lou Dort yet. Like, there's so many guys, it's crazy. And they're just turning along. They're just a basketball machine.
Yeah. And I mean, Shea Gilgeous-Alexander too.
I guess I should have mentioned their best player.
Yeah. I mean,
Whatever, man.
it's just crazy. I mean, I don't know how real this team is. I think this is maybe the first team I've seen in the last couple years that I really believe could repeat. Like every year, I kind of had a reason why I didn't think, one of these teams would repeat.
Yeah.
Um, and I don't know what their weakness is. That's the thing. Celtics, I was like, I don't trust their 3-point shooting. And then it went away, and then, they lost. Thunder, I mean, Shea goes out. Shea doesn't play a game. Jalen Williams steps up. Lou Dort steps up. Andrew
Yeah.
Wiggins. Cason Wallace has been so good. He's been really like love to see that from him. Not just being like a defensive specialist and a shooter. He's like able to do a lot more on
hmm
offense. So it's just really cool to see that progression from him. And we'll see if they break the record. I mean, I like to think no, but I mean, who knows,
Yeah,
man?
give the prediction.
It's
What's
72 and 10, right? Right now, that's the record.
it is technically 73 and 9 of the Warriors
That
in
was the Warriors.
2016.
Yeah.
And then they lost in the finals to the Cavs. That was a crazy
That was
season.
2016. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would I mean 70 and 12 maybe. I don't know.
We're basically a quarter of the way through the season. 82 game season, 20 plus games for every team. They've lost one.
Yeah.
So they're on pace to lose four right now. Obviously, do we think the 21 and 1 pace is going to continue the whole season? Probably not.
Yeah.
Um, it would be crazy to see, especially because the average age of our players are like 25 years old.
That's
So
what I'm saying. Like it's that. It's just a crazy part. It's not even like I know for sure there's one Hall of Famer on this team. How
yeah,
many other like what
yeah, yeah,
other teams that were like this, like those Warriors or like I think it was the 95 Bulls, 96 Bulls. Um I mean they had like Scottie Pippen and Michael Jordan obviously and um Dennis Rodman. It's like people that are going to be in the Hall of Fame. Now it's like these are just like really good young guys who can hoop. It's crazy.
right. Crazy is right, though. Crazy is right.
Yeah.
And that's the look around the league that lasted 2 hours.
Uh, yeah, that was more of a vacation around the league. I'll tell you that much. Oh,
Sabbatical around the league.
sabbatical around the league. Here, let me. I'm gonna give you. Okay, so the last thing we want to talk about NBA Cup real quick.
Yeah,
NBA
yes,
Cup. So we
sir.
we got
Starts
the
next week.
starts. Yeah, sure does. Next week on Tuesday and then on Wednesday. So in the East, I'm gonna give you who it is, and I want you to tell me who you think is gonna win. Okay.
Okay.
All right. So we
Yeah.
got Magic Heat.
This is already hard. Um,
Yeah. Also, I love the Florida matchup. Anytime there's like a little bit of a rivalry like matchup, like
mhm.
gotta see that. So like one of these is super random, but Magic versus Heat is a very cool.
Yeah, I'll take the Magic. I'll take the
Okay.
Magic.
Okay. I think that defense is gonna come through. Okay, and then okay, Raptors Knicks. This is a random one. I'm like, what the heck happened here?
Give me the Raptors.
That's what I was thinking too. I agree with you on both of these, by the way. Okay. OKC or Suns.
Okay, see.
Yeah. Lakers Spurs.
This is tough because actually it's not that tough. I'm gonna take the Lakers. I think the Spurs will still be missing at least one of those two guys that I just mentioned. And
Yeah.
despite the fact they've won a lot since then, the Lakers are playing even better. So
That's true.
take the
Okay,
Lakers.
we got Thunder Lakers. Who you got?
Thunder. I'll take I'll just take the
Magic
Thunder.
Raptors.
I'll take the Raptors. The Raptors are going. They're going to the cup.
Really?
Shit.
I love that. Okay, I love that. Okay, and then in Vegas in the championship, dude, if the Raptors and Lakers play for the NBA Cup championship, that is a match in heaven for me. I gotta try to go if that is it.
You go to
Um,
Vegas.
but it's gonna be Thunder Raptors. Who you got?
Uh,
I mean, just say it. It's okay.
that's tough. The fun part about this championship game is it doesn't count towards your regular season standings.
It's true.
Give me the Raptors to win it all in Vegas.
The notorious BI3 has come to
Oh,
Vegas.
geez. I can't wait to be wrong when they lose to the Knicks in the first game. That'll
Yeah,
be awesome.
I was gonna say, like, and then it's all ruined. That's my favorite about these brackets. You just miss one wrong, and it's like it's all messed
Yeah.
up. Yeah, but yeah, no,
Is that how you would have gone as well?
I would have gone similarly as well. I would have taken the Thunder all the way, and I probably would have went Magic instead of Raptors. But
Mm,
I love what the Raptors are doing, and I like the team a bit more. So they're my one of my favorites, of course, we
for
talked
sure.
about. So yeah, I mean it's been 3 weeks. We had a lot to talk about. Let's be honest.
There's a
So
lot. We wanted
so it
to
was
we wanted to do a 30 for 30. That's what I'll call this episode.
yeah. That's good. That's good. Yeah,
You like
and
that?
yeah, I do like that. I hope we'll have some more updates about some of the Chris Paul stuff and Giannis stuff next week. Looking forward to that. Until then, I hope everyone's just enjoying watching basketball. We got the NBA Cup to look forward to next week. Starts on Tuesday the 9th. Damon's gonna take a shot.
Shot, 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 shot,
Shot,
shot. You
shot,
said
shot.
Until Then. That was my number one song on Spotify Wrapped
Was it
by
really?
Feed Me Jack. Until Then. Good song.
I gotta
Must be if
listen.
it.
I gotta listen to your top songs. Tomorrow, I today I had a lot of work to do, but tomorrow, yeah, I'm gonna listen to like everyone's top stuff.
It's gonna be me first.
Yeah, duh.
No, it can be so you're like, who has Oasis in their top? I'm gonna listen to them first.
Every morning, that's what I do. So it's fun,
Right.
dude.
Right.
Dude, it's crazy. It's crazy. I've infected people too. Like so many people. It was
I
close.
drilled that. I was,
Yeah, you're
that
like,
was,
get that out of
that was
here.
not close.
Yeah, yeah. But again, just want to say thank you everyone for listening. And everyone that was enjoying basketball, enjoyed your Thanksgiving, and
Ethically.
of course ethically. And everyone has a good December. We'll talk to y'all next week. Until then, this has been Two Man Game with Damon and Dom.